Dressed like Curious George too today. So
that is true. The man in the yellow hat. This is Amara. We made t-shirts for her birthday.
Oh, see, now that's cool. See, that's a cool shirt.
See,
now.
I'm a counselor.
You should have said that. You should. You're not a counselor.
You're a
I'm a
victim.
Yo,
Not at Camp Amara.
No worry now.
Chris is not a megastar.
Let's argue. Wait, bleep that so we don't get demonetized. Don't put your hat down.
Huh? Oh, I didn't know we started. My bad.
No, we're here.
Nah, because you and Demaris 10 minutes ago were going at it for a smooth half hour. So
that's why she got on Mary J. Blige. I don't want to buy no more glasses because she was wrong and they was killing her on the internet for the last 48 hours.
The first thing Maul says when we walk in is, "Are you guys here to apologize?" And I am not here to apologize. I am here to double.
Julian that asked you that.
Okay.
Were you here to apologize?
Yeah.
I asked you, I said, oh, y'all gonna double down? And you was like, yeah, you put your hands on your hip. Yeah, I'm gonna double down. I was like, okay.
And first of all, I tried to forget that was Julian that asked that question. Talk about throwing a rock and hiding your hand.
Oh, his hands hit his.
Wait, me and Demaris need to apologize? If we need to apologize, you need to apologize as well. But we'll get to that later.
You yelled, yeah. You and Demaris was harmonizing over there with everything Rory was saying.
The best thing about this is the
big ad libs.
The clip came usually when people clip things and it's out of context but it's like someone else that clips it. The clip came from us.
Mm-hmm.
So
for sure.
The clip came from Peach.
So it's Peach's fault.
That's who the clip.
Okay.
It's like Love and Hip Hop. They can only edit and clip what you say.
But shout out Peach because I didn't look bad in the clip. So for that, you and Demaris need to defend yourself.
No, but you was yeah. You and Demaris.
They're right.
Y'all was
the clip didn't catch that part. They're right.
It was in there because I laughed
on their
at it.
side still.
Yeah.
All right.
Rory was barely getting killed. They were on my ass.
Well, it was because of the boys' Sweet 16 bar that you got off at the end.
And we'll get to that.
And then you was like, I was like, based off of what? You was like, well, the Migos are bigger in name and recognition than Chris. I think people was like, no, that's wrong too.
Let's give people some context because that clip sure didn't. Was it our Patreon episode or
it was a Patreon.
It was our Patreon episode. Subscribe to our Patreon right now.
If you want to see the actual full conversation, it's there.
/New Rory and Mall. We were having a conversation about Chris Brown and Quavo being at the Rude fashion show and there being a possible tiff between the two of them. They had to sit next to each other. Then we argued who would have to get up if they didn't want to sit next to each other, which put us down an entire Quavo versus Chris Brown rabbit hole. It was clipped by our beloved Peach that made it seem like we were arguing Quavo and Chris Brown, who is more relevant music-wise. Left out that Demaris and I were making a point that Quavo to Gen Z fashion world status is just as relevant as Chris Brown's right now.
Rude fat. And I want to bring up that again. We're not talking about Gucci. We're talking about rude.
It's funny because my friend in fashion said Quavo's also more favored in Gucci and Louis Vuitton as well. So
now, do we think Quavo and Chris Brown should even be in the same sentence as far as music goes?
No.
Absolutely not. But for some reason, we still argue before we got on this microphone. And I'm still here to stand on every last point that I say. And Demaris getting killed for the Sweet 16 thing, I still think somebody that has a Sweet 16 in 2024.
Let's take Sweet out of it because Sweet is driving them all fucking crazy. So let's just say 16
it's not driving me
birthday
crazy
party.
at all. You said
let's
it.
just
you
say
said boys have
birthday party.
You said boys have Sweet
diabetic
16.
16 party.
You said
you
no.
Know what I meant.
I'm going by what you said.
Right,
you
cool.
said boys have Sweet 16.
Okay, so if I take the Sweet out of it,
every boy that's 17 has had a 16th birthday party. We know that. That's how numbers go. You said boys have sweets. There is a whole type of fucking difference between Sweet 16 and 16th birthday party.
What?
I had a 16th birthday party. I didn't have a Sweet 16.
Let's say a boy's quinceañera.
That would be 15.
15, I'm aware.
Okay.
A bat mitzvah. Do you think they want to have like Quavo or Chris Brown there?
Boys? Huh?
Oh. Never mind.
Yeah, quinceañera is a girl thing. But yeah.
Oh, so I'm right again. I'm right in Spanish. Ha! What do you know? I'm right in Latin.
Quavo's name sounds Spanish though.
Quavo.
Quavo.
So I think I'm right on that one.
Yeah. Yeah, Quavo. That's all it is. Thanks for that, yo. It's Quavo.
Do I have to pause if I say pass the Quavo?
It depends on what you're asking him to pass.
But I loved our screaming match that we had off
Do it
camera.
again.
I just don't know if Demaris, I'm here to stand 10 toes with you. If Maul wants to bring his points up, I'll argue your side.
All right, so let me to Demaris's point. Rude, the fashion, the kids at that weird rude, whatever that means. I don't know what that means. But so you think that if Rude was doing their next campaign for their spring line, and they reached out to Chris Brown and Quavo, and then Chris Brown caught wind that Quavo was going to be a part of the new campaign. If Chris Brown hits Ruigi and says, yo, I am not going to be a part of that campaign if Quavo's a part of it, you think Ruigi would not say, okay, cool, we'll take Quavo out of it to have Chris Brown, who is the bigger star?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Well, one, I don't think he would reach out to both of them knowing that they have beef together, but let's go with a hypothetical. Even when Chris Brown was at his peak, and I hate that this has just made me someone that is shitting on a legend.
No, and none of this.
When has anyone ever tried to dress like Chris Brown? And this is, I'm not a fashion guy. I'm wearing a yellow t-shirt with my daughter's name on it and corduroys. I know I'm not the fashion guy.
Gay.
And I shouldn't really be
But it's not about
the one.
It's
But
not
when
about trying to
people,
dress like Chris
these
Brown.
kids try to dress like the Migos.
But listen to what I'm saying.
They have a fashion part of their brand
Okay,
where
but
Chris Brown is not a bad dresser, but no one's been like, yo, Chris was the style icon.
Now, they was in my inbox saying Chris put that shit on. So, you know.
Okay, so
I had on a big button up at the same time, but that was because of Hove. That wasn't because of Chris Brown.
But what you're missing is
I was singing Yo.
okay, but what you're missing is if you have a fashion line and you are trying to put out a campaign, naturally you would want the bigger star a part of your campaign.
I would rather have someone that's a little bit lower of a star, because Quavo is lower as a star.
You said a little bit
in the world. I changed.
Okay.
I stopped myself.
How much?
Because we're talking about the whole world,
Mhm.
not just the fashion world. I would rather take someone that is a lower star that is known for fashion and is in the fashion world and can touch the younger kids' paws than I would just a superstar that has no ties to fashion whatsoever.
But that doesn't make sense because you're selling fashion to the world. So
so let me go with the person that's known for dressing to the kids right now.
No, you're selling fashion to the world. You don't want just kids buying your clothes. You want the world to buy your
When
clothes.
kids, I don't mean just children. I mean people in their 20s too. I'm a kid.
To the
I'm
world,
early 30s.
right? To the world. You create clothes. You want to sell it to the world, right? Adults buy clothes. Adults buy clothes for younger children. Whatever.
Pause.
What I'm saying is, you would want the bigger star. That's a bigger star to the world to push your product versus somebody that's just cooler in certain sections.
I got you.
Every fashion house has a target audience. They all have target audiences.
All right, you actually beat me to it.
Y'all know that
if they were doing a Target clothing or JCPenney, and it's not me shitting on Chris Brown as far as how he dresses, but if you were doing a Target ad campaign, Chris Brown, yes, would be your go-to because he is a star amongst the world. He has a recognizable face. He would look good in the clothes. Rude is a huge company, but it's of the culture.
Yeah, they're selling $600 basketball shorts.
Yeah.
This isn't...
That's where you would maybe want to lean more to the Quavo side.
Do y'all realize that this show was in Paris?
Yes. And also, for
do y'all realize that
Quavo walked at the Louis show in 2021. So there's that too. And he's walked in other shows. Quavo, like the point is Quavo's more integrated in that scene.
It's harder to sell Rude if you're doing a backflip instead of walking. You can't see the clothes.
Niggas was like, have Quavo ever did a front flip, the Merch Madness on beat? I said, if y'all don't get the fuck out my inbox, bro.
So, and we don't have to continue this conversation too much further because it is on Patreon. And
I'm not even giving this topic no more energy. Y'all are wrong. Y'all were wrong. And y'all are wrong now.
But
it is what it is. Y'all are not making no sense. Chris Brown is a bigger star. He's a super star. You would want your product on a superstar because they have more eyes on the superstar than a guy that's just famous and popular in certain circles of the industry.
Like the circles of the industry, like the circles that are wearing Rude clothing.
They were both invited to the show, Demaris. They were both sitting front row.
Exactly, which means this proves your point more than ours.
No, it doesn't. Because my initial point was, if Chris Brown had that much of an issue with Quavo and he didn't want Quavo sitting there, I can promise you and 1,000% guarantee you that Ruigi himself would have came out and asked Quavo to move to another side. If that meant Chris was going to walk out of that show. I guarantee y'all that. Ruigi would have asked Quavo, yo, bro, I don't want no issues. Can you just move over here? If Chris Brown requested
And
that.
in reverse.
Because Chris Brown is the bigger star.
And in
he
reverse.
wants Chris Brown at his show.
And he wants Quavo there too. That's why
Of course he does. He was invited.
Front row.
So obviously, but if it meant that Chris Brown was going to turn and walk out of that door if he asked to move Quavo and they didn't, I guarantee you Ruigi would have stopped everything he was doing and went to Quavo personally and asked him to move. Guaranteed. And that's all I was saying. And only a superstar or a star that is bigger than Quavo can request that and do that.
If I'm trying
That's
to,
all I was trying
if I'm
to
trying
say.
to sell hockey gear, is Chris Brown going to be my best option to sell it as a model? No, he's a star, but that's not his world. Like,
I don't understand what you...
your point was that you should always go with the bigger star, the more recognizable person if you're trying to sell something. And I'm saying not that Rude is niche per se, but it is a specific type of fashion in a specific culture. Doesn't mean you should just go with the biggest superstar. If I'm trying to sell hockey gear, that's a specific culture. You don't just grab a recognizable star.
Right,
You want someone that's
right, but when
that's close to your consumer and what they also want to do.
Right, but as you know, with any campaign, they always go with a star, a
Sure.
superstar. We see campaigns, Calvin Klein, all up and down Fifth Avenue, Madison Avenue. They're not getting somebody that's just like, they're going to aim for the biggest star they can get at the moment. That's all I'm saying. Now, Quavo was invited.
Like Mark Wahlberg?
Whoever.
Marky
was
Mark at the
invited.
time.
Quavo was invited. And
Sure.
Chris was invited. All I was saying was if Chris had a real issue and didn't want to sit next to Quavo and he requested that they moved Quavo, Ruigi personally would have moved Quavo or asked him, because I don't want to make it seem like it'd be like, Quavo, get the fuck out of here. We don't want to be disrespectful. That's Quavo. But Ruigi would have asked, Quavo, do me a favor, bro. Just sit on this side because I don't want it to be, any issue. That's all I'm saying. And only a superstar or a star bigger than Quavo could request that. That's all I was saying.
Well, Amara's first actual birthday couldn't have came at a better time. I was completely off my phone for this entire exchange. I checked my mentions sort of last night. Can you guys fill me in on what happened on the internet?
In regards to what?
This going viral?
No.
I understand Quavo replied.
I got a bunch of
I
calls from
understand
people in
Chris
the
Brown
industry.
replied.
I got a bunch of calls from people that work in the industry asking if the conversation was real. They thought it was like something we were just doing just for clicks and shit like that. And I was like, no, it was a real conversation.
There's so much more context to it and nuance to it, which we're not going to get into here because the actual conversation was had on Patreon. Go find it if you want it there. But yeah, the clip wasn't addressing what we were actually talking about.
At all.
But I think
So
the gist
people
of it
coming
was,
to your defense in those comments and you coming in here and like coming on and be like, I told him, it doesn't apply because it wasn't what we
They
were
had
talking
no idea
about.
what the fuck we were talking
what we were
about.
talking about.
They thought we were just
I
talking
think
about
based
who's
on the
bigger
clips,
star.
if you say that Chris Brown, if you say the Migos is a bigger name than Chris Brown, people don't care what the context is. They're not.
But that wasn't the argument.
That wasn't the argument.
But that was something that was said, and people are responding to what they saw that was said.
Okay, but that doesn't make them
And that
right
was
in our
false.
argument.
But that was false. The Migos is not a bigger name than Chris Brown.
They're
not.
They had a run more recent than Chris.
You talking about a run? That doesn't mean you're a bigger.
Chris Brown is
name,
a household
bigger
name.
star.
I'm never going to take that away from Chris Brown, but that just wasn't the argument. So people in my inbox yelling at me talking about front flips to March Madness on beat, that has nothing to do with the nuance of the conversation that we were having. So the shit went viral. It was on all the blogs and everybody's giving their opinions and calling me and Rory all types of dumb fucks. That's fine. But for a lot of people who got the actual conversation was like, oh, I get what y'all talking about. There were plenty of people who were backing us up, but I had the carbs, whatever the male barbs are, the carbs, like they were in my fucking.
Oh, I thought that was
crazy.
a typo when you texted that.
No, the carbs. They're fucking
that's
I don't know what it is about Chris Brown's fan base because it wasn't women. The crazy shit was I expected it to be women in between the ages of like 25 and like 35, right? That's who I thought. No, it was 30-something-year-old men that were on my ass. And I was like, oh, like, these are breezy fans. Like the fucking, they
Can
were
you speak
going
to the
crazy.
fact that the math that you did with the with the social media following? Because I thought that was funny. That was
in the
funny.
episode.
It's in the episode. It's not
But
in the
I
clip.
just want to talk about that.
Go ahead,
That-
Paul, bring it up.
It
No,
was a
because
joke.
Demaris said, nah, those are people that follow Chris in 2008 and they don't even have their accounts no more.
That was a very obvious joke though. In the episode, you could tell that it was a joke.
They rolled over from Facebook.
Yeah.
Just to follow.
Yeah.
Also, Chris
100
Brown,
million more.
he had his Instagram longer.
I ain't even do that, man.
So
He's also been a star for what fucking 15 years longer than the fucking Migos.
I ain't do that math either.
you guys
Yes, he's gonna have more followers.
Do you think there is a world where someone can be hotter but not greater than an artist at the moment?
Of course. There's a lot of rappers hotter than Jay-Z right now. None of them are greater than
Ice
Jay-Z.
Spice is hotter than everybody right now.
And do you think at certain events, especially for younger people, that could play a role in what is happening? I think,
but hot only means that. See, because hot is
Temporary.
if you're seen more, like if you're out more, you're more accessible. You have more events. You're more doing. That means you're hot. You got features that are currently in the market space. But Chris Brown has one of the biggest songs out right now with DeVito.
Yeah,
excuse me. How would you
big
pronounce his name? No disrespect. So I'm saying, like, so what does it mean when y'all say that? It's like Chris Brown's record right now is hotter than any record Quavo has out right now.
Also, we were trying to explain in the full conversation the times we're in now, and we've had this combo separately. Music isn't what makes you the most relevant now. Sometimes it's just brand recognition, who you're dating, what you're doing online. Like,
yeah, that's bells and whistles, though. That's how you dress it up. We always got to go back
and hotter doesn't have much value compared to greatness, because we were arguing too that there was a time when Migos' run, music-wise, was significantly hotter than Chris Brown. At one point, Fetty Wap was hotter than everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But Chris Brown's been around for 20 years, so that's what speaks to greatness. Our point was based off who was hot at the moment, and that changes things. If Ice Spice would have walked into that rude fashion show, she would be royalty. She'd take precedent, because that's just how marketing and the world works right now, with face recognition.
Yeah, but I don't even
to a
think,
younger generation.
As hot as Ice Spice is, I don't think that if she walks into a fashion event in Paris right now, she still is a hotter or a bigger conversation than if Chris Brown does. Only because Chris Brown is not seen at these events like that. So if he decides to come out and goes to these events, it's like, oh shit, Chris is here.
And also, I don't want to put that on Rude's as a brand's jacket. They have much more integrity as far as that goes. But there is plenty of huge brands that do not care as long as that person is famous that week.
Mm-hmm.
They are going to come on in.
Yeah, but it's a difference.
Look at the people that now get invited to the Met Gala out of nowhere.
Influencers.
Who was it? Cardi B bringing up like how long it took her to get there, and then now people.
Yeah.
You could be hot that week, and Anna Wintour's like, "Come on in."
Didn't Anna Wintour take Ice Spice to the Met Gala?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Which is like, that's what we were saying, what speaks to what's happening right now. Sometimes it does not matter how great you are. It matters, are you relevant this week? Which is fucked up, but that's the world we live in.
Yeah, but that's why I said it always goes back to the product, though, the music. Like, cool, you could have other things going on.
To us, for sure.
I'm saying in period. That's what matters. Like, cool, you can be hot and have a viral moment and have this going on, but like, okay, what is it that you do? You're an artist. What is your music sounding like? What is your impact in that world? If your impact in that world is subpar, then it's like, okay, you may get invited to an event here and there, but it's like when a person that is like a legend in that field, in their craft, walks into a room, there's going to be a bigger talk about that person, because that is a solidified, certified legend standing right there. That's not just somebody that's hot. That is somebody that is a legend. Legends cool off and just disappear and go live life and do them. That doesn't mean that when they decide to come out, that's not still a legend that's standing there.
And to us, I agree with you, but right now, the environment we live in, hot is more relevant than legend.
That's just what it is. Like, I don't support it. I don't like that it's that way, but that is what it is.
Not in the long run, but I'm saying for short term.
Who's going to get more shares? That's what it's about.
I think it was fun, though. I think it was fun for the internet to have fun with the clip and laugh about it, and people to curse people out in the comments and things like that. But they do think that y'all are some stupid motherfuckers. I just want to let y'all know that right now.
Wouldn't be the first time I was called that.
Me neither.
That's
Who
cool.
gives a fuck?
Nobody under the age of 25 was calling me stupid, so I don't care. But anyway,
no,
I'm
people
glad
under the
that
age
our
of 25
clip, that when we pick our clips, we pick our clips to, do their thing. We never know which one is going to really, really do its thing, and we deal with the aftermath of what comes. So if people want to laugh and call us stupid, that's perfectly fine.
But before we get off of this, though, in your heart of hearts, like right here in the corazon, you really feel like 16-year-old girls would rather see Quavo than Chris Brown? Seriously, though.
I'm not going to start throwing shit.
In your heart, you feel like 16-year-old girls would rather see Quavo than Chris Brown. Seriously. We just saw some white girl say she would suck and fuck Chris every day.
White women!
She was 18. Chris was like, yo, I'm flattered. You're too young. That's 18.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but what platform was she on?
It was Twitch.
Add some context. No, it's not a shot.
She
Twitch is a great platform.
Aiden Ross and Chris Brown had a stream, and she didn't think it was real. She thought it was pre-recorded. And then when she saw that they were really like on camera with her, she just decided to get her shit off. And she said, I'm dead serious. I will suck and fuck you every day. Chris was like, whoa. Like, Flattered, but you're too young. But
you telling me that a woman would want to suck and fuck Chris Brown, that like
doesn't surprise me.
No, I'm just saying that
he's not.
young
was
girls.
a point that blew me away.
No, but to what Demaris is saying, young girls would like to see the light-skinned, handsome guy that can sing and dance before the rapper that's going to come to the party.
Young whores would fuck anybody that's famous.
I know you're older.
I'm not calling them. I'm not calling them whores. I'm just saying young girls.
Okay, if you get on
in any
Twitch
generation
and say I'll suck and fuck you, you're a whore in training and you need to.
But I'm saying, Rory.
Say it privately.
What I'm saying, Rory.
Like a real hoe.
What I'm saying is,
or just suck
young
and fuck.
girls.
Yeah, or just suck and fuck them.
Or just do it.
No, we're not promoting that. What I'm saying is,
they're of age, right?
Young girls would rather see a guy that can sing and dance. Any generation. When a guy can sing, if you was the guy in school that could rap, it was like, oh, that's cool, he could rap. If you could sing and dance, every girl in the school would want to date you.
Emal, this is where I want to bring up your age.
It does. I just said any generation.
No,
any generation.
Any generation.
Singing and dancing is more attractive than rapping with jewelry on. What are you talking about?
That's what you don't understand.
Any generation is more attracted to singing and dancing. It takes more skill to sing and dance.
Okay.
Let Demaris speak for a younger generation.
What I'm trying to
She can't speak. She's 30.
She's not 30.
I'm not 30.
How old are you? 29? Okay, she's 29.
What I'm saying, I'm not even speaking for myself. What I'm saying is I don't understand how you can't see the difference in how rap has really, really taken up. Rap it's always been big. Rap has gotten bigger since you were in high school. Are you seeing what I'm saying? These young girls now love rappers. The singers ain't it. They was saying for so long that R&B was fucking dead. That's not for no reason. That's literally, they're not saying that for no reason. Because rap has taken over. The rap star has taken over. That's why you have so many female rappers now. They're not trying to be singers.
Demaris. Chris Brown is not just an R&B singer.
But I'm not fucking
He's
talking
a pop
about
star.
Chris Brown. I'm not even talking about
That's exactly
Chris
who we're
Brown.
talking about.
No, you're talking. I said take their names out of it because I don't even want to make this about them anymore.
Okay, so a pop star. A pop star.
He's not a pop star.
Who?
Oh my God.
Chris Brown's not a pop star?
Oh my God. Y'all,
what are you talking about?
I don't want
Yo, what are you talking about? What
makes Chris Brown a pop star? Quickly. What makes Chris Brown a pop star?
Hold on, Chris Brown is not a pop star?
What makes Chris Brown
What are you
talking? Pop star?
Yo, exactly. No, seriously.
At this moment, what makes
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
No, I'm asking you. What makes
you think Chris Brown is not a pop star?
What makes him a pop star? Okay. What makes him a pop star? Quickly, what makes him a pop star?
You got it. You speak for all 16-year-olds, bro.
The fuck?
You just sat here. You just sat here and said Chris Brown is not a pop star.
And you can't tell me what makes him a pop star. You can't.
Yo, can I get some help on this, or you just gonna like let her get her shit off?
Well, what makes him a pop?
If you guys were yelling, I didn't want to interrupt.
Is Chris Brown a pop star?
I think he is. Yeah.
Is Chris Brown a pop star, Julian?
But
is Chris Brown a pop star?
What makes
That's the only time I've disagreed with Demaris in this time.
Is Chris Brown a pop star? What the fuck are you asking me? I'm asking you a question. Is Chris Brown a pop star?
Kinda.
I agree that Chris Brown makes pop. No, listen. I agree that Chris Brown makes pop music. I agree that Chris Brown makes pop.
What are you talking about?
Chris Brown's a pop star, but you did glide over an amazing point that she made and changed the subject. That was a little gaslighty. These girls listen to moody R&B, no R&B that they love. They dance. They don't dance. They don't really even sing.
I never
like
said
the
that.
shit. I like it.
I asked a direct question. Is Chris Brown a pop star?
But before that,
you said no.
You changed the subject.
You changed the subject.
But
that's what I'm saying.
You a question though, and you said no, he's not a pop star.
We were
you deflected off a great point she made.
Cool. What was the point you made?
The conversation we were having where you said that young girls these days that are in high school would rather see are more attracted to a guy that can sing a dance than a rapper, and I'm telling you that that's an outdated concept because R&B has become outdated.
Okay,
that's
cool.
what I'm trying to tell you.
All right, cool.
That type of R&B.
Cool. I heard that point, and then I said Chris Brown is not just R&B; he's a pop star. That's what I said, right?
Okay, now let me say what I'm saying. So let's clarify this.
Pop stars don't dance anymore.
Chris Brown makes pop music and good pop music? Yes. I do not think that Chris Brown is considered a pop star. I also think that Beyonce makes pop music. Does Beyonce get awarded pop fucking Grammys or does she get awarded R&B Grammys? Does Chris Brown get nominated for pop Grammys or does he get nominated for R&B Grammys? We have had this fucking argument the same way that they kept saying that Doja Cat was rap when she was pop. Not this last album, but before that. Doja Cat was pop, she was not rap. But us as black artists do not get classified as pop stars even when we make pop music. So when you're asking me, is Chris Brown a pop star? To me, yes. But no, he is not an Ariana Grande.
Favorite
No, he's
pop,
not.
favorite pop rock male artist. He won that in 2008. Okay, what else?
Keep
is up
scrolling
there?
because that was 2008. That was what?
Favorite soul R&B artist won. Artist of the year won.
R&B.
He won
No,
one award that has pop in it.
One out of all his awards. He's not considered a pop star. I don't say that. I love Chris Brown's music. He makes pop music, but he is not considered a pop star. And I'm not fucking crazy for saying that.
Who's a pop star in your opinion?
Pop stars are people like, let me think.
The white women.
Thank you.
Like,
They're the only ones.
like Dua Lipa.
They're the only ones that get labeled as pop. That's what I'm saying.
But Beyonce is a pop star.
Beyonce is a pop star, but she's not considered that to this day.
I think
to this
I
day,
think
they
her
don't
last
consider her a pop
her last
star.
2 albums were extremely R&B, but she's a pop star.
Yes, but she will never be.
And Chris
considered
Brown's
a
one of
pop
those
star
that
to
his
the
single is
masses.
usually pop, and then he has a lot of R&B
Be on the album.
on the album.
I agree.
Olivia Rodrigo. It's just white people.
It's like little. When you say pop, it's little teen white people.
Taylor
Like
Swift.
that's what's considered pop. So yes, he makes pop music. Yes, I enjoy the pop music. Yes, he's a superstar. He'll never be labeled a pop star. That just is what it is. I didn't create.
Okay,
that
but also,
system.
all right, to Demaris' point though, like I'm looking here. If Adele was black, she would not be considered pop, but I consider her pop.
What do you mean if she was black?
If Adele was black and made the last 4 albums, they would call it R&B.
Yes,
And that's just how they move the goalposts.
We've been
But
complaining about that on this exact. Pop
Adele to me is a
for
pop star
years.
and makes incredible R&B. She's one of my favorite artists, but that's where race does
But Rihanna,
kind of show itself.
Rihanna and SZA sitting right there. Those are black women under pop star.
well, that was just a general Google search. I think
SZA recently became a
Yo, y'all are
pop
crazy.
star. Control, that was a straight up
Y'all are
R&B
crazy.
album and it went pop.
Yo.
SZA had to fight.
Yo.
SZA had to fight to be considered a pop star.
Yeah.
And
but
also, Rihanna has never really made R&B. She hasn't made R&B in years.
All right, but you agree that Chris Brown is a pop star?
I do.
Julian, do you agree that Chris Brown is a pop star?
I agree with what Demaris said in terms of he makes music that is pop, but categorically he's not a pop.
All right, so you don't think that Chris Brown's a pop star?
He has records that are popular that
Why
have,
does
yeah.
nigga won't answer the question? Do you think Chris Brown is a pop star, yes or no?
But I think there's nuance to it. There's nuance to it, which is what Demaris said. I don't want to repeat her whole point, but I like what she said.
What do you think the song I Can Transform You is?
But that's the
It's a
point.
pop, like
It's someone that you can. Drake makes pop music. He's not a pop star. All of our favorite artists can make pop music, but also do other
Drake
things
is an
as well.
anomaly because he's in every genre, and that's not fair. I think people that teeter the line of pop and R&B and have the numbers and the icon status are allowed to be called pop stars.
Sure.
And Chris Brown is one of those.
Chris Brown is a pop. I don't
Fine.
even. How is this and this is what the internet is saying. How is this a real conversation? I asked you
This is a completely
asked you a
different
direct question. Is Chris Brown a pop star? And you can't even
Well,
answer
you
that.
did that.
The
because
answer
you
is
didn't wanna
yes.
address Demaris.
The answer is yes.
I broke down.
The
I broke
answer
down
is
the
yes.
entire
Chris Brown
reason
is
of
a
why I
pop-
said that, and nobody disputed
Chris
my terms.
Brown is
Nobody
a
disputed
pop
the argument that
star.
I made, though.
Chris Brown
Nobody
is
could
a pop
dispute what I
star.
said. Okay.
It's no conversation. And it's okay. That's not a knock. It's actually like, he's a popular star. He's a pop star. He makes popular music. How is this a fucking argument?
Like,
How?
would you consider Prince a pop star or a rock and roll star?
But see, that goes into a whole different thing.
But
That's a
I
whole
think it's
different thing.
I'm not comparing Prince
I
and
think-
Chris. I want to make that very clear. But somebody that teetered the line in the music that they made, you could really consider as rock and roll.
Yeah.
But it
he's
was
a pop
was
star.
pop.
Yeah.
Michael, in my opinion, had a few R&B records, but he defined what a pop star is. That's
Yeah.
popular fucking music. That's pop chords. It's pop writing. It's pop.
Exactly.
Pop, pop.
I'm gonna just go out
I
on a
think
limb and
Prince
say
is a
if
good
you're-
example of that, though.
I'm gonna just go out on a
Teeters
limb and
both
say
genres.
that if you're on a white guy's stream and an 18-year-old white girl says she would suck and fuck you, it's probably because you're a pop star.
18
So is Blueface a pop star?
Not because
You're putting way too much
no.
on 18-year-old
no.
white women.
I'm just saying because white girls love pop stars.
White girls like rich people.
White girls like black men. What the
Yeah.
fuck are we talking about? What are we talking about, bro? That's a good
White
what the
women.
fuck are we talking
Yeah,
about?
but she's not saying she wants to.
Black men that would have been on there, they'd have offered to suck and fuck them. That
No,
was
Haram.
What are we talking about?
That's not true.
Okay.
I'm not saying
She
that. That's
definitely
true.
would've
Okay. She
I'm
wouldn't
not
have said
saying-
it to Drake.
I'm
She
not
wouldn't
saying.
have said
I'm not
it to
saying.
who
I'm not
Quavo.
saying. I'm not saying she wouldn't have. But 9 times out of 10, little young white girls are attracted to pop stars. They only know about these gentlemen because they're pop stars. They're popular stars. They make popular music. How is this an argument?
You can make popular music that's not pop. And like, why are we acting? Like, why are we all acting dense?
Yo,
Why
they
are we
literally.
all act- why
They
are we
literally.
acting dense?
What I'm saying.
There was young white girls at Gunna show.
I'm not saying.
Mostly.
And they would've-
I'm not.
slapped
I'm not.
him the fuck down.
I'm not saying they can't be.
He is
But I'm
a
just saying.
faithful man.
I'm not saying they can't be at a rap show. I'm not saying that.
Okay.
I'm just saying this kid, this Chris Brown, since his inception into the industry, has been compared to the king of pop. He's been compared to Michael Jackson since we've known about
I'm
this
trying
guy.
not to say negative things about Chris Brown, but I feel now that was an awful take.
Feel how you want to feel. Was it not a thing? Was it not a real thing?
I liked that conversation people were having. Who was more talented? I know a lot of people thought that was blasphemous. I thought that was a fair conversation. Who was more talented? If you see what Chris can do art-wise, everything. He should never be in a sentence with Michael Jackson as far as a pop star.
It's not, but it's not that he's in this. What I think what people are saying was because he was so young, so talented,
Mhm.
can dance, can sing,
Mhm.
can perform
Mhm.
at the level that he can perform.
One of the greatest.
We may not have seen somebody do that at such a young age and demand an audience and captivate an audience with their performance as Michael Jackson. There's nobody that you can compare to Michael Jackson. Nobody. Michael Jackson is the bar. He's the one that, if you're compared to him, that means you're fucking great. He's the bar. So I'm
sure
not
there's
saying
been a
that
lot
it
of
was,
artists in the beginning that just got the nod of, oh, this is the next Michael because
Who?
they
They
were
were
young.
calling
same
Usher the
things.
next Michael too for a while.
When My Way came out, that was
another legend.
for sure.
another legend.
But you see that they're both icons, but drastically different careers and how they even perform or make music. Like it shouldn't even be in the same. Michael is Michael. Like
No.
just Mike is Mike.
I agree with you.
Are
there.
we-
I'm not.
And guess what? I listen to Usher more than I listen to Michael Jackson, but Mike is over here.
We know that. That's not even. I'm just saying when you're compared to a Michael Jackson, it's not because you're just a
But by who?
R&B
Like who
star.
Yeah.
did Quincy? Like who did?
I don't. I'm just saying that was the general consensus.
I remember.
So that's all I'm saying. I don't know. I can't name the names of exactly who was saying it, but we all know that they was comparing. Anytime it was a tribute to Michael Jackson, who was performing.
Well, we didn't get the one we wanted.
I'm just saying when there was a tribute,
It should be Chris Brown.
this is
I
all
agree.
I'm saying, and it's a reason for that. There's a reason for that.
But I think that's
It's his
we said
talent
it
level.
off air. It's attributed a lot because of how well he can dance.
Not only how well he can dance, performing. A lot of people can dance.
Well, and perform. Yeah, he's a
Can
great
you perform,
performer.
though?
Yes, but we also weren't arguing those.
I'm just saying there's a reason that he is in these conversations because of his talent level.
We're
But
never
they also,
shitting on Chris
like,
Brown. We give
they
Chris
also had
Brown all
similar
the credit in the world.
octaves,
He's
like-
very talented.
Yeah. That's
Like-
why it makes so much sense. Because there's back to the Prince point. Who's the one they always say should do the Prince tribute? Why am I blanking?
Other than her, somebody else.
It was someone else. But either way, it's not always like somebody that's comparable to them or even the best at the current moment or their era. It's someone that just kind of mirrors what their abilities were. And Chris Brown,
Sierra will
you
always
can't-
be at a Janet tribute.
yeah, like they're not comparable, but we know Sierra could smoke all Janet choreography, could sing to the best of her ability to perform that tribute. That's why. That's the comparison. It's not like they should be in the same sentence. And that's no knock, because I don't think anyone on earth should be compared to Michael Jackson.
If they're giving a tribute to Mariah, they're not gonna go get Adele who can sing her. They're gonna go get Ariana Grande. Like it's a mirroring thing. It has nothing to do with you being as good as that artist or even being the next from that artist.
Yeah.
But again, I want to move off of this because it sounds you're making it sound like we're shitting on Chris Brown, and
I
I
hate
really
that.
don't like that
I said
because
that?
we give Chris Brown.
No, just the listener.
I never said that. I was
we give
asking
Chris
direct
Brown
questions.
his flowers that he deserves for his artistry. So
But you're gonna have
that's
to
never the
protect me in
argument.
LA. That's all I'm saying.
Nah, you good.
He's like one of the few big artists I run into every time I'm in LA.
Where are you going?
Every time.
The highlight
like,
room.
what the fuck? are
I've
you
never
doing?
seen him.
Highlight room.
Highlight room.
Oh,
And it was always love before. It's just like 2 times he's commented, and both times it's been me saying something negative.
Oh, he commented on something before?
When we were talking about the selling out an arena thing.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, when y'all
And
said,
shitting on
oh, when
Chris.
y'all
I
said
didn't
he
know
needed Lil
that.
Baby to sell.
That's not what we said either.
All right.
Anyways,
Look at them all.
did anybody...
You see, now you want to get off it. Like, don't do that. Stand on business. Stand on a big box.
We
of
already
it.
had the convo. It's available.
Nah, fuck that.
We didn't say he
Stand on
needed
business.
Little Baby. We were talking about support. That's all.
Yeah,
In
yo, y'all are.
comparison to Bruno Mars. Let's not leave that out, but okay.
Yeah, there's so much
Another
more
pop
to
star.
it.
You know,
Anyways, did anyone see the We Are the World doc? Before we get into some more messy shit, I do want to take. I want to cleanse with We Are the World doc
Nah,
before we
fuck
get to
that.
Nicki and
Fuck
Megan.
that.
Watch that bullshit.
Fuck that. Fuck that. We standing on business this year. We ain't moving on. Say what y'all said.
The whole year we're doing Chris Brown?
Exactly.
Did you guys hear any of the Nicki spaces where she was talking about Meg in the record?
I heard some
Yeah, I did not
clips.
see the full, what I think was a 30-minute conversation, but I did see the moments.
The biggest takeaway I saw from it was she specifically said with Meg sitting down with Gail, she was looking for her Rihanna moment. And that seemed to be the snippet that people were running with most. It was a lot of her denying coke and then saying she has more records and all that. But the biggest piece regarding this was her making this jab, including Rihanna into the thing.
So she said that Meg was looking for a Rihanna moment after being shot?
When she cried on Gail, she was looking for her Rihanna moment because domestic violence is just like, yeah, you should get a moment. That's.
It was
Listen,
it was a little distasteful.
A little.
a little.
And I was on the side, even though I didn't like Bigfoot, I was on the side of Nicki is allowed to say whatever she wants to Meg, but like Rihanna is minding her business with 2 kids. Like, why are you bringing me up? And Nicki knows her power. She's a star as well. Like, you can't, just don't bring me into this. What the fuck? Like, I've moved on. I'm married with kids. Leave me alone. It was weird. It was fucking weird. And I don't want to continue to shit on Nicki either, but it's just been a weird week, to say the least.
It's just shaming somebody for abuse. Wow.
Okay. On the rap side of it, though, I did see there was a leak of the original beat to Bigfoot. Can we look up who produced the real Bigfoot? Like the one that's actually on
Lil
streaming?
Jew.
I'm sorry, what? It's a very sensitive
And if
time.
the beat live, you know, Lil Jew made it. Megan's producer.
There's words sometimes that you have to use.
Oh, she had Meg.
Little Jewish?
Young
Jew.
Tunnel.
It's offensive.
No, you just made it offensive.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Anyways, he's the culprit here. Bigfoot was not as bad when I heard it on the other beat. He made one of the worst diss records of all time based off the beat that he did and whoever mixed it. Because it wasn't that bad on the new beat. It was not great.
No,
There's a new beat?
You're missing. Okay, so Maul, let me give you some backstory. Meg's producer and her friend, and like you hear her, his drop is literally, and if the beat live, you know, Lil Jew made it. Megan says it all the time. That's literally her producer from when she was coming up. He made a beat 6 years ago, or however many years ago. Nicki has had that beat. Nicki attempted to do her Megan diss track on that beat. Jew wouldn't clear the beat. That's my homie. That's
what a lot of artists say.
Yeah. Like, that's my...
Wouldn't clear
it? Jew just wouldn't clear it.
Okay. You can say that.
Legal is always the toughest part to get through, Maul.
Every single time.
Copyright.
No, my question, I know he produced the original
I'm
one.
catching them all up. That's what I'm telling you. Catching them all up. So yes.
Rory is just trying to make awkward jokes right now.
No, I'm really not. I'm trying to get to who produced the one that we heard on streaming.
That I don't know.
That's what I was asking. No, I know the backstory that he didn't clear it, and then Nicki was on live saying that's the guy Party was saying you were fucking for a beat. If you want to, you could fuck Megan Rowe. I get it. Whoever produced the one we heard first is who I think we should direct our anger at.
Why would you direct your anger to him? She just picked another beat that she had. She picked another beat and put her bars on that new beat. That ain't the fucking producer's fault.
No, I would see a world where she just sent him the acapella and he made the beat around it.
No.
That's the only world I could see.
Obviously, that didn't happen. She picked another beat that she had in the stash. That's what happened.
It's the same flow. You're just listening to the mix and the awful beat. Like, yeah, I think he just did a shitty job of taking an acapella. I think Nicki sent that acapella out to a bunch of producers. And that was the one she chose, which is just a shitty beat. But if you hear the original, it's not great, but it would have hit
Sounds
way
better.
fucking
Sounds
different.
better.
Like, way differently.
Way better.
She wouldn't have to post the lyrics. She wouldn't have to, like, it was just bad.
Mhm.
So I don't want to shit on Nicki too much. I'll give her some, well, let me not give her any bail there because you put that out. You picked that beat and you approved the mix. So
All right, fuck all that. Where do we think this is going from here?
So
Does she release the 5 records?
she's put out 8 versions of Bigfoot. She
'Cause
just
she's
put
trying to
out
chart.
She put out 10 versions of Pink Friday.
She just put out a, what was it? The last one that came out. It's a shorter
Reloaded.
version.
She has the rap
Reloaded.
only, the clean. But Meg is doing the same thing. Meg has a chopped and screwed for his. They do that to try to chart because it's forcing
course.
people who already listen to the original record to go listen to the new version, and it's all chart games.
Well, the point, to Maul's point, does Megan
Our games with beef records is hilarious.
does Megan respond?
Especially when
Yeah.
Ben Shapiro outcharted both of them.
Yeah, like- That's a sick game they playing right there.
Does Megan respond?
I don't think Meg's going to respond.
Not even after the Twitter space?
It's just, yo, man, I'm telling you, man, it's just, we gonna have to study this type of shit. Like being shot, and I know people like, if she didn't get shot, bullet fragmented her, that's still considered being shot.
No, it's people that said she wasn't shot at all. She just
Well,
made it up.
those we know that people still think, whatever they want. They think Tupac is in Cuba. We know that. What I'm saying is, if
Well-
somebody fires a weapon and bullet fragments hit you, you were shot.
Oh, I can tell you guys now, if bullet fragments hit me, I'm coming in here on this microphone and bragging about how I was shot.
I mean, but you would.
And I would continually tell everyone, even out of context, no conversation, like, listen, you don't even know what it's like to get shot, though.
yeah.
Like, I would be that.
But
that-
you,
if I just got hit by a little fragment, just a little bit,
and you would be in your right to say that a mosquito didn't bite you.
I would be.
Fucking bullet fragment hit you.
I'd be at Ludlow, like, yo, you see this little scar?
Yeah,
Not
exactly.
Ludlow, they kick your ass out.
I just don't.
No, like, if I was trying to shoot at a girl, I would
it's just
show
fucked
her
up
my-
how many people are
my
really
fragment.
like
Next to your
shitting on
vaccine
Meg.
booster?
You said what?
Saying Rory would have a bullet hole next to like his 10
It would
vaccine
be-
jabs.
Listen, I would get shot before I. Never mind.
You know what? Anyway, yeah.
I don't wanna just get
I don't know.
demonetized.
I don't. Everybody. Every time I talk, they say I'm caping for Meg. But I just think you should be able to just get shot and actually have sympathy. But
In
Who am
conclusion, if no one really replies after this was just a cool moment for a few days. That's going to pass.
Mhm.
I thought this
Everything
was.
is
I
just a
thought,
cool
but I
moment.
thought this was going to be a bigger deal. It was 48 hours.
Nobody cares. Things don't have the shelf lives that they used to. People move on as soon as they click refresh. Like, we don't care. That's why I made a statement to y'all a few months ago. I said, bro, if we was to see former President Trump killed, people would talk about it for 48 hours and move right the fuck on. That's just the world we live in now. People don't give a fuck about anything anymore.
Now, if they went back and forth and Nicki had 5 records on ice and Meg replied to 1, yeah, this would go for another 2 weeks, which 2 weeks in internet time is like 7
I don't
years.
even think it would go 2 weeks. It wouldn't last. If both of these records came out today, which is basically Friday, right? I don't think we're talking about this past Tuesday.
All right, my last point to Meg has to reply. She's put out 2 singles. She shedding the snake skin or whatever,
Yes.
and Hiss.
not a bite. You want a bite?
No, that's 2 back-to-back singles. This is a rollout.
Oh no, her album's coming. She said that.
I don't even think she was really anticipating that Nicki was going to reply or drag it the way she did. I think this was a rollout that the label and her were putting together already.
Mhm.
She's going to have to show face and answer to shit. So if she doesn't reply to Nicki, are we about to say Meg Thee Stallion doesn't need to go on a
She's
press
not-
run?
she's-
Because she does.
No,
She's
she's
not-
gonna go on a press run. She has an album coming out.
Yeah, she said.
She's
But I'm saying-
she's not gonna reply because the one thing y'all are missing, she never said nobody's name.
Please.
Come on.
Come on.
That's what she gonna stand by. She gonna stand behind it. She didn't say no names.
She already said that though. She said hit dogs gonna holler.
Yeah, she didn't say no names. This is Takeover and Ether. Even though Jay said names, but it was a song on his
The
album.
hook on Ether was fuck Jay-Z. You bet on my dick. You
No,
love my style.
No. You're missing what I'm saying.
The first bar.
You're missing what I'm saying. Takeover was on an album.
Yeah.
Ether was a record that Nas just put together and threw out in response to that record.
Wait, first of all, Jay said names on tape.
I said,
Both
said-
versions.
no, I'm saying, but this version is Meg has an album cut. This is an album cut. Nicki's response is just a response to that. I don't think she's not putting that on that project.
I consider Meg a MC and a rapper, and she would look super funny in the light the same way any other MC or rapper would if you put out someone directly replied back to you, then you went on a press run, and your response to Charlemagne and Envy was, I didn't say any names.
But why not?
You look
She didn't say
We
any
would
names.
call any real rapper pussy. Like, let's get gender out of this.
But what
You're
I'm saying,
pussy.
but what I'm saying is she did not say any names though.
Hit dogs holler.
Whoever-
Don't throw a stone and hide your hand.
Whoever you decide to attach those bars to, that's on you because you can totally be wrong about that. Like a lot of things that Demaris was saying, this bar was about that person. She could be wrong in a lot of that.
Good.
She could be wrong in a lot of that.
Why not?
I think it's safe to assume that the Megan's Law bar is directed at Nicki. I think that's a very safe assumption. But at the end of the day, she didn't say anybody's name, is what I'm saying. So to go on a press run and be sitting there grilled about Nicki, I could see a world where she's absolutely like, okay, yeah, that's what okay. Well, then if you think that's what I was talking about, I didn't say anybody's name.
And we don't have to drag this. I'm saying if she does a press run and her response to the Nicki stuff, if she does not reply to the diss is, I didn't say any names, she is going to look nuts and that's not going to be a good press run. She's going to look
I don't
insane.
think so. I think female rappers have.
If she does that,
kind of
I think Nicki puts out 4 disses in a row. If she gets on any publications, like, I didn't say any names. If I'm Nicki, I'm putting all 4 out.
I know Meg's gonna come out and say hit dogs holla and brush it off. And I don't blame her for that. Because I think her shit is I said what the fuck I was gonna say. Like she said in the diss, I don't really know what the problem is, but like, go ahead. Jealousy from the opposition. Like I don't know what the fuck your problem is, but go ahead.
And in the same way, the opposite way, Nicki didn't say her name in her diss either, did she? She just like did she?
I mean, come on.
No. She said
I'm asking. What do you mean? Come on. I didn't say she wasn't talking about it. I'm saying
She
she
say her government name, but like,
Did Drake say Meek's name in back to back? Did he say Push's name in Duppy Freestyle?
No, I'm not saying that.
Well, she
but
wasn't,
I'm just
really
asking.
Pusha and Duppy Freestyle.
I'm asking because this is going on her album, so she's ready to go on the press. She's ready to do
album shit.
media to support this album. So I'm saying if she goes up there and says, "Oh, I didn't say nobody's name," she's going to be absolutely right in saying that. She didn't say anybody's name. She never mentioned Nicki at all. She didn't mention Drake or whoever else people are saying bars are attached to.
And
she didn't mention nobody's name.
Even though that's true, my point in response to that is she will look insane.
Nah, I don't think she
we
will.
should hold.
I think female MCs get a pass in that. Now, men, I don't think they get a pass in that. Women, I think they have the luxury of saying, I didn't say no names. I think female MCs have that luxury.
Why?
It's just a difference.
What's the difference?
Females have the luxury of saying, I didn't say nobody's name. Whoever y'all think I'm talking about.
I believe
because you can't say a woman is pussy. You can't say that. Like,
quote Jay-Z again. I'm not talking to anybody in
but you
particular.
look
He was
stupid
definitely
saying
talking
that.
about mad people.
Jay-Z states
He said, I'm not talking to anybody in particular. He was talking to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
We knew every single person he was talking about.
But that was a bar. I mean, that, whatever. But he said names though on other records, just not that particular record. He came out and said names after that.
Yeah, sure.
So, I mean, Meg has that luxury. I think if she wants to go on press run, whoever y'all think I'm talking to, I'm not making this press run about anybody else other than Megan Thee Stallion and my album that's out now, whatever. I could totally see her doing it.
And we're going to move on right after this, I promise. And if whoever she sits with lets her get away with that, you are now going to see me siding with Nicki in that everyone is in on destroying her. If any interviewer lets Meg get that line off and moves on to, well, tell me about the producers on the project. I'm with Nicki.
Saying low.
I am with Nicki Minaj on this entire thing. This industry is focused on getting me the fuck out of here because no one would let Nicki get that off. Or any other rapper, period. Yes. Rock Nation is the boogeyman. If Meg can get that off in an interview. They are the boogeyman.
First of all, that doesn't correlate. And second of all, they let her get that off. They let her get that. If you have somebody, first of all, we've had people on our show that in this certain shit, if a motherfucker say they're not talking about something, they're not talking about it. Either you gonna lose the interview because you're insistent on making them talk about something that their PR rep told you that they don't want to talk about, or are you gonna sit down and stick to the assigned questions on the sheet?
But we're not the salacious podcast. Whereas Meg needs to go to platforms that are based off salacious shit.
Why do you think that Meg needs to go to the platforms that are based off salacious shit? I'm asking.
Now I'm looking at you.
No,
why you don't think Meg Thee Stallion needs to go to platforms that are based off salacious shit?
Why does she need to go?
She just think Gayle can.
What I'm saying.
So
is,
she should just go do Rap Genius and Us.
No, what I'm saying.
Because everyone else is salacious.
She did Gayle King years ago.
What I'm
bro. What
saying
you
is,
And Gayle King is salacious.
from what I see, from what Meg is trying to do with her career,
And I wish Nicki
Meg
brought up
is
that R.
trying
Kelly
to
line
go
Gayle, too.
towards the pop community. That's what I've been seeing her career going to. She's trying to go
She's not
towards the pop community. Okay, I didn't say that she was. What I'm saying is she's trying to go towards the pop community. She just did a fucking song with Renee Rapp. One of her other songs was with a pop star. She's been doing fucking songs with K-pop artists. Meg is trying to go towards the pop scene because the young white girls love Meg.
Okay, that can be true, but that's not where she is.
So
and she needs to go to cultural shit.
Why would she go to the cultural?
She needs to
shit
go
when
see Jason Lee.
When the cultural podcast, not podcast.
Y'all
but
do know there's a world where she can do all of that, right?
She can, of course. But what I'm saying is she doesn't have, he's saying it like she has to do that for her career. No, she hasn't, because she's going to be going to all the fucking publications that have been kicking her fucking back in through that whole entire trial. You think she don't feel a certain way about that?
Oh, and
She's
she
not
has
gonna
every right
sit
not to go to
with certain
publications that shitting on her.
Oh yeah, but
Of course.
I think she can go do Hollywood Unlocked. I think she can go do something with Zane Lowe. I think she can.
Breakfast Club is based
Breakfast
off
Club. I think she can do. Yeah,
But to combat your point, Rory, even if it's those types of like salacious platforms, you still can have your publicist go in there and say, we're not talking about these three things. Shut the fuck up.
yeah.
And I'm saying that's going to make her look crazy.
I don't think so.
Not if it's not brought up. Then it's not even.
I'm telling you, there's a difference. I think female
You guys
artists,
have
they
sat
get
down
that
with
pass.
people, and you're like, don't bring up certain shit, and they won't bring it up, and then it'll go out on YouTube, and people are like, they didn't talk about it.
Why didn't they talk
Yeah, but
about
it's
this and
different
that?
if a fucking a male MC comes in here and he made a record like that where we know who he's talking about, and I'm like, yo, so what about that bar? And he's like, yo, nah, like I wasn't talking to nobody, and it's like,
No, but
if a woman says she ain't talking, I'm not pushing the issue. I'm like, okay, then let me mind my fucking business then.
And we're also not that pod that wants and goes after all salacious shit. Like, but then again, when in our world, when Benny and Gibbs were going at it, we consider Benny an associate. We went directly at Benny and disagree with him about a lot of shit that was going on with that entire thing and wanted to resolve it.
But that's different because
Breakfast
that
Club
turned
taking
physical.
a Meg interview and not asking about this makes everybody look nuts.
No. But it's different though. It's different because Benny and Freddie, this situation turned physical. It turned
No, I
physical.
agree.
People
I'm saying
had
we didn't
hands put on
avoid
them.
we didn't avoid the question.
No, so at that point, clearly they have you understand what I'm saying? This whole Nicki and Meg shit, do we think there's something there? Obviously, but it's not physical. Meg didn't say nobody's name in this record. So there's things that she can hide behind, like whoever y'all think I'm talking about, that's on y'all. She can definitely stand on that. She can hide behind that.
Yeah.
Now, whether or not you think it makes her look good or bad, that's subjective, but she can definitely get away with that, 100%.
For sure.
I guess, yeah.
Are we going to more rap beef? Because I really want to get to UMG and TikTok. We can get through this.
So much beef. We're pitting so many people against each other.
And it's Black History Month.
I know, right?
What are we doing? Martin had a dream, man. He had a dream.
Greats.
This is not Martin's dream.
Where your greats? Why they not beefing? What the fuck Jack Harlow doing?
Yeah.
The CIA killed JFK. What are you talking about?
That was like 100 years ago.
Yeah, y'all due for a new one.
A white being murdered?
Yeah.
Jeffrey Epstein.
Nah.
He was one of their goats.
He's in
If
St.
you really
Croix.
break it down, to a lot of people, Epstein was him.
Yeah.
To a lot of people that have money and influence, he was the one.
Yeah, he wasn't no Kennedy, though.
Y'all are sick for bringing up Jack Harlow like you want harm to happen.
Oh, who's y'all?
No.
Y'all, I didn't say
Nobody
shit. I
wants
love
harm to
Jack.
happen to anybody.
I did not expect Yasin Bey to get on Instagram and discuss this Drake thing, but what is he doing more press for?
Yasin?
Yeah.
This is press? Him sitting on IG Live?
Compared to doing no press or getting on Instagram for 20 years? Yeah, I would say so. After putting out an amazing
I think that
Black
he just,
Star album
No,
2 years ago, they
sat-
didn't do any press.
No, he sat down.
He did Quali's podcast.
He sat down on a podcast and he made a comment about one of the biggest recording artists in the world. And I think that he started receiving some backlash for it and starting to see his name be attached to some things. And he felt like what he said was like taken out of context maybe. So he wanted to add more context to it. And then letting people know he reached out to Drake via DM, via Dave Chappelle and other people that probably have access and communication with Drake to basically clear up and make sure that, you know, he didn't want to seem like he was disrespecting Drake's talent or Drake's craft. And I understand that because sometimes you say things somewhere and it grows legs and you're like, whoa, that's not what I was. Kind of like what y'all was saying about Chris Brown, right? Same shit, but this was a little more direct and personal. So I think that this
Nothing like that.
Most
no, when you say things and it goes viral and it was taken out of context, and now there's a
I know most.
You know what I'm saying? And now you think that the artist may have an issue with what you said and feels a way about what you said. So this is most like nah, hold up. I want to clear this up. I don't want it to seem like I'm discrediting Drake and saying he's not talented and he's not dope. I just think that what he said is he requires more to say somebody is hip hop. He requires you to.
He didn't walk it all the way back.
Yeah, he didn't walk it. He was just trying to give more context to what he was saying. Like certain substance during certain times of the world, things that are going on. Hip hop is a voice of the people. You should address certain things culturally, certain things politically, and things like that are going on that are happening, which is what he was saying he would like to see Drake do more of.
And this is another one of those pardon my face moments while I speak. I did disagree a bit with Yassine on that. Like, if Drake's not that guy, should he force certain type of substance or speak for a certain community?
I would rather not.
Because
if you're not that guy and you're not from that, don't speak on it.
The same way, and I'm not comparing the two situations, I've come on here and said really dumb political points. Like, I shouldn't be the one to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, sometimes I should do more research before I spew shit.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes that comes from a place of, I feel pressure. If we have a platform, things should be talked about.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know if I'm the guy all the time after I've even tried to be that guy.
Yeah.
So
I respect that.
I feel what Yassine's saying, but if Drake is not that guy, he has a lot of substance in the shit he knows about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So keep it there.
You can't force him to want to talk about things that he probably is not well informed on, or, you know, things that he doesn't really feel passionate about and things like that. Like, I respect that. I respect if an artist is like, I don't touch that, because it's kind of like when in the Jordan documentary, when people were mad when Mike didn't support the local official that was running for some type of position, and they were like, damn, well, why you didn't support him, or why you not like backing him? And MJ said, yo, I don't get involved in that. And people were mad, but he's saying like, yo, I don't, because I don't know much about that. I don't know what his policies are, what he's doing. So I'd rather just stay away from it. I'm not going to support it and you know, and give him my blessings and things like that if I'm not into that. That's not what I do. I'm into this. This is what I do. So sometimes people, but that's because people of that caliber are expected, because they're put in such a high position.
Because the amount of influence that you can have.
The amount of influence you can have. But what Jordan said was, I don't want to use my influence in that way because I don't really know about that.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to use my influence there. So I think that, you know, you just got to look at what people's passions are and what they're into and things like that. And it's like, okay, so you can't expect this artist to create art based around the things that you're passionate about because they have a bigger platform and you would love to see them talk about it. But if that person's not into that, then they're totally in their right to not speak on that.
And sometimes it's about the money, because Jordan even said, and I believe in that doc as well, he's like, Republicans buy shoes too. When people are like, why aren't you more vocal about politics? And he's like, some people just want to build wealth and to play both parties and to not be associated in one way or another.
Because it's basically pick a side.
It's pick a side. And
Mike is saying, I'm not picking a side.
When you split your audience, you lose money. And if you're really trying to build an empire, in Drake's case, I think he's about his money. You shut up and just play the good guy.
I want Republicans, Democrats, and whoever else to support my music if they like it, to buy my sneakers if they like it. So I'm not picking a side because I'm not into politics. There's nothing wrong with that. And everybody's not into politics.
We know that Drake studies the landscape constantly. He saw J. Cole put out a freestyle of saying, hey, I don't know everything. I'd love to learn more. And then all of the internet said, shut the fuck up, you misogynistic piece of shit.
Yeah, that was crazy.
It's like, J. Cole?
Yeah.
I'm never going to say a word then.
Yeah,
if the internet looks at fucking Cole crazy.
I saw something the other day on Instagram. They asked Snoop something about Trump. And he said, yo, Trump ain't never did nothing to me. And I was like, oh, they about to try to cancel Snoop now.
They're not about to try to cancel him. He just sounds stupid. But they not about to.
Yeah, because even in the same breath of what we're saying, you can also just flat out say, I don't know. Speaking of canceling artists, though, TikTok just had all of the Universal Music Group artists canceled for possibly eternity.
All right, that means nothing to me because I'm not on TikTok, but I do recognize that is a big deal because most TikTok videos, if not all, have music in them.
To me, this is, music industry-wise, the biggest thing to happen since Spotify introduced streaming on a mass level.
Yeah.
It's pretty.
This is the craziest
this
thing I've
affects
seen.
this affects over 90% of TikTok. I think.
For those that don't know, as of Wednesday, January 31st, UMG, Universal Music Group, all of their artists' catalog, songs, and for the foreseeable future, cannot participate in the biggest tech company known to man right now.
And this hurts nobody but the artists.
So TikTok proposed paying artists and songwriters a rate that is a fraction of the rate that they similarly, see, I can't even
Similarly.
close enough, situated major social platforms, UMG said. TikTok accused UMG of putting their own greed above the interests of their artists and songwriters. UMG then replied to TikTok in the press that TikTok only accounts for 1% of its advertising revenue, which to me kind of like proved TikTok's point, but this is fucking nuts. Did you guys ever see the Spotify TV series, like just about the creation of Spotify? I think it was on Hulu.
That was
You
a while
mentioned,
ago.
it was. You mentioned it before. I never got
Yeah.
to
It's a really good series if you haven't seen it. It's up there like with the Uber series. It's just one of those, if you're into this type of shit, you need to go see it. So in the series, which is pretty accurate, that's a good representation if you want to get a back history of how tech companies and the music industry have combined. So Spotify had this great idea, created all these routers and all this shit that made it capable to stream all music from a computer.
Mhm.
But they needed the music. So naturally they went to the major labels, which all laughed in their fucking faces because they own all the back catalogs of every fucking artist ever. And it's like, why would we move to the beat of your drum and what you want and license this shit when we own what you need to even create this entire thing? It was a back and forth. Looked like Spotify was never going to exist. The result was the three majors all have ownership within Spotify. That was the only conclusion that they could all come to, which to me is a fair one at the end of the day. Spotify is a tech company, but they revolutionized how the masses can get music with their phones and their computers.
Right.
But also, why the majors are so important, whether we like it or not, own all the music that we listen to.
Mhm.
If I'm a major, I'm definitely telling Spotify, no, I'm just not licensing some shit to you for a fee. I need to be a part of your tech company,
Mhm.
which to me is completely fair. Spotify had no leverage because they were the first. I mean, there was other streaming sites, but this was one
Mhm.
that obviously changed everything. They had no leverage. TikTok, now being who they are and who they're backed by, has a little bit more leverage than the average tech company. So them going in to negotiate with, say, a Universal, Warner, or whatever, is not looking at it the same way as Spotify. But the majors, and as arrogant as they've always been, and as late to the party as they've always been, still thinks the whole world needs to beat to their drum because they have the catalog.
Right.
And TikTok did not budge and said, fuck it. Cool. We won't need to use your catalog. And the majors have never been treated that way in their entire existence.
Mhm.
Whether it be movies, because they went through this with, Universal is not just Universal Music Group. They
Mhm.
own movies. We've seen it with Disney buying up every last other streaming site. They've never been treated this way or ever met their match before. I appreciate them not budging, but I think they're in a lose-lose situation. If they budge, now whatever the next tech company, of course TikTok is here to stay. No one's trying to argue that. But inevitably, like the world turns, because it's flat, there will always be a new tech company that's going to need music. And UMG has never feared that because they always had the leverage. If they cave to TikTok,
They
now we're
cave to
in
everybody
a
else.
situation where our negotiations aren't the same as they were with Spotify, with Apple, with everybody else. But if you don't cave and you stand on your business, as arrogant as the majors are, and TikTok continues to move the fuck on, and your artists are affected, now you've lost all leverage that you've ever had. Because clearly you're not needed for these tech companies anymore when it comes to back catalog or future relationships with artists.
How does this help?
The only people that suffer in this entire thing are artists.
But how does this help independent artists?
I I think in a good way. I mean, if you take away, UMG, we don't even.
That's everybody.
We don't need to say Taylor Swift, Drake, etc. Like they have almost everybody.
Mhm.
I think it helps independent artists. I think it takes some leverage away from the majors too with doing deals with other artists. If I'm looking to sign and I'm the hottest thing moving right now on YouTube or whatever,
Mhm.
and you take away my music being able to be promoted on TikTok, do you think I'd ever fucking sign with you?
Right.
Yeah, and I'm also thinking from like a younger artist perspective, where younger artists are being discovered is on TikTok. So say
Yeah.
I'm a young artist that has a following. I blow up on TikTok, as most are doing now, and then I sign to Universal. Universal and their legal team, before the ink's dry, will own your back catalog. So immediately you're telling me it's the day I sign with you, you're going to now have the rights to my back catalog and then rip it off a platform that I got my name from.
Right.
And then what? I'm pretty much starting from square zero, because say I have 1 million on TikTok, but my Instagram has like 100,000.
Mm-hmm.
My following's over here.
Right.
So now we're depriving my audience that got me to this point. And now I have to do this on Instagram and Twitter or wherever now.
So it's basically like creating another. I have to go to this label.
You're just robbing artists of. It is the real losers of the artists. I mean, to the point that Rory made.
Because now we're losing all promotion. Like no matter what, to some degree, and I've been on record not being a fuck majors type of person. I think with certain artists, majors are actually great for you. I think it's awesome, and I think independents are great for other artists.
Mm-hmm.
But if you rob me not only of my masters and probably the fair share of profit outside of what you put up for me, it is what it is. That's the industry standard. It sucks, but that's cool. Now you're robbing me of my promotion.
Mm.
Now I can't even promote my record to get the pennies off the dollar that I'm getting. Now tell me, now you're legitimately a Bank of America.
Yeah.
You're not even a company.
Mm-hmm.
As far as promoting my music. Like you go to a major because they can help make you a star. And whether we like it or not, TikTok is a huge fucking part of that now.
Julian,
so you take that out, it's like...
There was Pharrell just did an interview where he was saying that, if you could find it, he was sitting down with a podcast, I believe, or he did an interview somewhere. He was saying that he doesn't feel like artists have to sign to labels anymore, more than ever now. Like there's no need for an artist to sign a major recording deal.
And I think that was a premature statement based off the major's relationship with Spotify, i.e. being part owners, and with TikTok, and with platforms like Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
If you erase that, then at this point, find a drug dealer to finance your dreams. Like,
yeah,
what are we doing at this
need a
point?
bank.
Oh, it's happened before.
I know. But it's different when you're taking so many resources. And on top of that, we just watched Universal, Warner, all these reports that they're laying off half their staff. Right now, the music industry is laying off more people than any other industry at all.
Mm-hmm.
So now I don't have a staff. I don't have access to the biggest platform. Okay, you're going to give me $100,000 to record an album that I don't own, that you're going to give me pennies off the dollar.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Yeah.
What I'm seeing, so I'm seeing some financial people who are talking about that. So basically, TikTok paid UMG $110 million. They're paying them around $110 million per year. TikTok is comparable to Facebook Meta, with whom UMG had a multi-year deal with in 2022, who they're paying, I think, 3 times as much. They're paying $200 to $300 million per year to license the content. So doubling, damn near tripling what TikTok is paying, right? However, you can advertise on Meta and Facebook and Instagram and all of that. It's never going to get the type of coverage that it's going to get on TikTok. So I don't blame TikTok for not wanting to pay as much, but that is a big difference.
I don't think, this is my personal opinion. I read all the articles and I have no inside information. I think UMG went in for an actual percentage of TikTok. The same way they have done with every other tech company, how they've dealt with YouTube, how they dealt with everyone, and they were needed. TikTok is a platform that, of course, we know Taylor Swift records go crazy on there. We know there's dances with every artist. They don't live and die by a back catalog or future music. They just don't. People are going to generate videos because they love TikTok and like making TikToks. They'll dance to anything. That's actually kind of the beauty of TikTok, where they almost treat it like SoundCloud of a rabbit hole, where those sounds and that shit, like, even if you don't have a huge following, your shit can pop on TikTok. So if you take that away, where the kids are not focused on trying to dance to what the hottest song is right now or have a back catalog, yeah, some random fucking DJ could just make a beat, and if it has the right dance, it's out of here. We've seen it a million times with TikTok.
Yeah.
I think Universal finally met their match, because they had every right to deal with Vivo and YouTube that way. They had every single right to deal with Spotify, Apple Music in that capacity. Because when we use those things, we need back catalog and we need future catalog, because those are strictly sort of music platforms. They're tech companies, but it's music. TikTok that's just a portion, sure. Universal finally met their fucking match. And I think Universal, I don't think it's caving. I know you've been Big Brother forever, but adjust with the times. Adjust with the fucking times.
That's what I was going to say. I think it's just time for the Big Brother to just adjust to the new times and the things that are going on, the way people discover music, the way people share music, the way people fall in love with artists and things like that. It's a more organic way of doing it with TikTok. People post videos. People like the video goes viral. People are like, damn, that song is dope. I like that song. What song is that? I've done it. I've seen clips and things like that. And I'm like, yo, what song is that? So I mean, it's just a sign of the times changing. And I think Universal is still trying to stand their ground and say we're the most dominant figure on the block. That may be true, but there are other ways that artists are spreading their music and growing their music now that I think you want to be a part of and help to grow it in that direction as well.
But straight up too, before you go to Maris, do Universal not straight up say, not even cryptically, we do not give a single fuck about music? Their response was, TikTok is 1% of our fucking revenue. We don't care about that. So 1% of your revenue is coming from TikTok and music. Cool, I get that. So now you're going to take away the biggest promotional thing ever for your music division. You are saying, we do not give a single fuck about music. It means nothing to us. It means nothing at all. We're telling you it's 1% revenue over here. It's the biggest promotional shit. So fuck y'all.
Well,
that's saying fuck you
music,
to,
not the music.
Yes, it's saying fuck you to music. It is.
But you're speaking shareholder language, because you're looking at it because they
no, of course I am.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's not. Obviously, I would imagine the label, the people at the label are like, well, shit, now what are we going to do? Yeah. But yeah, if you're looking at it holistically, if you're looking at a pie chart and you see 1%, you're like, fuck it, we'll eat that.
If I'm Lucian, I'm looking like, yo, y'all just said fuck me.
For real, yeah.
You said fuck me and everything that I brought to this company.
Yeah.
And even though it is 1%, whatever, back to perception as well. Like, you guys had to start 360 deal because we know where you can leverage celebrity. Taylor Swift changed the economy. It was based off of music. Everyone's saying fuck music now. Fuck our artists, fuck their promotion. It's barely a penny to us. Fuck y'all.
But
that's to me admitting we are eventually and have been planning on dissolving this entire thing. Okay, this is a fun hobby over here. I think
you're going far. I think you're going really far with that. I think you're taking to when they said TikTok pays 1%. I think you're taking that.
I'm not saying I know it's 1% of their revenue, what they get paid out by TikTok. $100 million is 1%,
but I don't think that
which makes so much sense. But if the future is going into tech companies and TikTok is the biggest one, that was the only one that was going to make them budge and stood on their fucking business, and they decided to say fuck you to TikTok, to me, that's saying fuck you to the future of music. Because no matter what, music is going to be with tech companies. No matter what. I think they're going to have to do these deals again. And when they say no here, it's just going to get worse the next time. And they're saying fuck this music department.
But I think this is the thing with, I think they're not saying fuck.
They didn't say fuck you to title.
I think they're standing on their business, and this is why. Because out of everything that TikTok pays to the labels, TikTok paid last year to the labels around $400 to $500 million. TikTok made $18 billion. Are you seeing what I'm saying? So to them, it's like,
we want a bigger piece of the pie.
I take up about my catalog is about 30% of the music that's being used on this app that is majority based on music. And you're gonna tell me that you're only paying me $110 million a year. That you have to stand on your ground on that. You have to.
I agree with you. That's why I started with saying UMG is in a situation, there's no win for losing. Like either way, you're losing all your leverage. You finally met your match. I think UMG is worth more than $100 million from TikTok. You crazy? Of course I believe that. They should definitely go. They should ask for somewhat of a stake, even if it's a 0.001%. We bring a lot of shit here. But TikTok in China is looking at this shit like, bro, these kids making their own sounds and they're going viral. We don't need your shit.
Yeah.
But if I'm an artist, I think it feels like a fuck you.
Isn't TikTok banned in China?
No.
TikTok is banned somewhere in one of those countries over there.
North Korea.
Well, nothing's allowed there.
I'm
You sure? TikTok is banned
Well,
somewhere.
it's a
over there.
Chinese-owned company.
It's definitely a Chinese-owned company.
Full bans on TikTok: Afghanistan, damn it, India, Iran, Kazakhstan, Nepal, and Somalia. Damn, the pirates can't scroll on there.
And just to give you guys,
Those
bans
are
in
some
Australia.
crazy TikTok.
and just to give you guys, instead of giving you like percentages, just for the listeners to make this a little bit easier. So there's UMG has a recording. They have recording music and they have publishing rights music. So from today, the recording music, which is around 3 million songs, have disappeared. The publishing music is an additional 4 million songs. So like I want to give y'all numbers instead of just percentages. This is a lot of music, like a lot of music. So.
And TikTok won't suffer.
TikTok doesn't need that shit. Yeah, so this is my question.
But
If you're Universal, Rory,
if it's 1% of your revenue,
yeah,
I'm saying for future business and for the overall big picture, you should cave.
yes, 100%.
You should cave.
Yeah, but it's easy to say when you're not.
Oh no, I'm Monday morning quarterback. I don't know.
Yeah,
none of this
like
shit.
No, but this is also going to hurt their bottom line. Like now,
I've never went public with a
to the
company.
initial conversation. It's like, what?
But why do you think
artist-
they didn't cave though? Because like you said, if you cave now, you're gonna have to cave to a
to
lot
the
of other
point you
companies.
made? They're the big brother. They were like, fuck it. We've never had to bend the knee before. Why would we start now?
And
But-
I'm saying quietly, they could have just done it. Because to me, this back and forth press shit is an ego thing.
Yeah,
Mhm.
for sure.
If you would have quietly caved, and you're also now saying, you're snitching on yourself to me. And listen, I'm just a dumb guy in a yellow t-shirt. You didn't have to laugh, Yummy. 1% of your revenue comes from TikTok. Okay, so for the betterment, if I believe in UMG and music and my artists and want people to continue to sign to my label and continue to care about music, I have Sir Lucian Grange over here. I may cave and come to a compromise based off 1% of my revenue.
Yes.
For the future of UMG, I will cave to some degree with TikTok. Now, if there's real politics because it's China and there's some other shit that is way deeper than we know about, then I should shut the fuck up. Because they made all of the NBA shut up when they said the word China. So I don't really know.
I mean, we do know this though. In this type of business situation, if one side doesn't kind of adhere or cave, like you said, it's really just all ego based.
Yeah. I think they'll come back knocking.
But yeah, they have to.
Yeah.
You have to.
Well, that's a negotiation. Are we going to see who caves first?
Well, TikTok doesn't need to. It's going to have to be UMG.
Well, hold on.
In a position they've never been in because Spotify had to cave.
I'm going to name some UMG artists.
You don't even have to.
You don't have to.
But I'm saying just
we know the two.
Listeners,
Just two. Just name two of them.
Taylor Swift and Bad Bunny.
There you go. You don't even have to name the
Drake,
third.
Ariana Grande.
SZA,
You don't have to.
Weeknd.
I mean, you have to go there. This is what I'm
Billie
saying.
Eilish, Harry Styles.
Yeah,
Justin
but like we're
Bieber,
saying
Adele.
names that to TikTok don't mean shit. Who gives a fuck? TikTok doesn't need these people.
And I could see UMG being arrogant enough to say like Taylor Swift moves the economy without TikTok. I'm saying it ruins the future opportunity to have the next superstars. If you're eliminating the biggest promotional tool
You're closing
that we
the
have.
door on the next generation.
Drake is not going to suffer. Taylor's not going to suffer.
Exactly.
A lot of artists aren't going to suffer.
You're closing
And
the
I
door.
and I also think UMG really focuses the most on them. But do you think this company is going to die with Taylor Swift and Drake? Like Universal's been around for how long?
Yeah.
Do you not see a future in this? That could be something too. Same way everyone's selling their catalogs. There's probably a lot going on that we're Monday morning quarterback. Like we don't know what the fuck is happening.
Mhm.
we're going based off what we see here.
But
That could Universal could think they made the best decision they ever could have because the music industry as we see it is over. So why the fuck would we cave there?
I know you guys are saying that this doesn't affect TikTok. TikTok is unaffected by this, right? And I get where you're coming from with that because TikTok, I get where you're coming from with that. But what I will also say is, okay, for example, Drake's album dropped. Every TikTok on the timeline, I'll speak for American adult TikTok, was Drake songs with dances and other stuff, whatever you do on TikTok with the Drake playing in the background. If Drake's album drops and you can't do TikToks to Drake's music, that will force people to go to Reels. People will make Reels.
People will still be addicted to TikTok the same way. If Drake, Taylor Swift, all the huge artists we're talking about came together and boycotted and was like, yo, fuck TikTok. All our fans, delete that shit because we can't use our catalog on this, then I could see an effect happen.
Yeah.
These kids don't care if Lucien Grange is like, oh man, they don't even know who that is. And I'm telling you now, Drake, Taylor Swift, none of them are ever going to say a bad word about TikTok. The kids are just going to be like, well, I can't do a Drake song. I guess I'll move on to the next sound.
On to the next one. Yeah.
Like,
but what I'm saying,
if they all came in solidarity and Taylor Swift was at the Super Bowl in the booth and like had a sign like the way Prince had slave over his mouth and was like, fuck TikTok, because Taylor Swift and Prince are the same, then maybe you could have some effect, a tiny effect on what's going on with TikTok. Taylor Swift and Drake are just as afraid of China as Joe Biden. So they're going to shut up.
But what I'm saying is you're saying, okay, on to the next song, on to the next sound.
They
own so much of the market share. So who's the next? Are you seeing what I'm saying? Like
Drake and Taylor don't own their catalogs?
No, I'm talking about
why would they go to bat for UMG?
What happens with TikTok? What happens when TikTok decides to become a label?
They should have been signing artists, but they don't need to.
That's what, like that to them, that's ass backwards. Like, kid
no,
shit.
I'm not.
Like,
I'm
enjoy your little label. Like,
they don't need to do it. But now, what if TikTok says, you know what? In response to this, like, we're gonna create an artist division. Like, we're gonna become a label. We're going to find these kids that their TikToks are going crazy, sign them to deals, give them percentages.
I think that approach made sense to what we argued in the past about what SoundCloud should have done.
Yeah.
Because that was a more
take a page out of that book.
But TikTok is so self-sufficient that it doesn't, like, it. To Rory's point, it's peanuts to them. What is an artist making music to them?
I don't have the answer to your question. I have a question to your question. Same reason why Apple Music never did it. Same reason why Spotify has never done it. What would be the point to them? The way I watched Apple Music do that exclusive deal with Chance and a few other rappers and then stop.
Love my wife.
And then Spotify never signing a single artist ever. Because like, imagine, we've been exclusively signed there, but imagine signing to Spotify and they're guaranteeing me the front page, everything a major does.
Mm-hmm.
I could sign directly to the tech company that owns the hardware. Of course I will. But the tech company's looking like, why would I do this? You're an advertisement.
Mm-hmm.
You're an advertisement so someone can buy this to listen to your shit. Like, we don't care about that. Like, why would I do a label?
Sounds like somebody has a monopoly on the game.
Well,
Chinese.
What if this is the only question? Because, okay, so Universal, they tried, this doesn't look good to them, at least from our perspective. Maybe you're right. Maybe they have another play that they can leverage. What if Warner, like, what if all the majors, what if Universal goes to the other majors and goes, hey, I don't know what your deals are, but if we can all agree to take all of our artists down, do you think then something like TikTok would have to bend or do something?
TikTok said, or an article I read suggested that all the other majors have already re-signed and came to a fair negotiation.
Oh, that's hilarious. Well, Universal's fuck themselves.
Yeah.
But and
so
also at the same time, like, back to this ego and Big Brother shit. Warner, Sony, and Universal are all arguing about Disney Plus right now. Netflix, like, shit that's way bigger than Drake albums. Like, they're not going to come together for the art of music at all. Like, their fight is with owning streaming and monetizing their back catalogs and using that as leverage to continue to own the tech. And they all look at each other as competitors. They're not coming together. They're competitors with ego. That shit would never happen. They don't even let artists, sometimes shit doesn't get cleared because you have a feature from a Sony artist and you're on Universal.
Right.
And they will legitimately block what would help you, which internally helps them. They would block it because they don't fuck with Sony. Seen it happen a bunch of times. That feature's not getting clear. We don't have a relationship with them. Fuck them. They're a competitor. Why would you work with somebody like that? Well, I don't know. I thought it'd help all of us.
Right.
No, we don't work that way.
Bro, I watched what Disney did to the Hulk just because they couldn't get the rights to his solo movie, and the way that they destroyed an entire character. And his entire character arc made him so unlikable because they could not get the rights to his solo movie.
Yo, it's the same reason Fox News fired Tucker Carlson. Nobody's bigger than the program. Like, I don't care that you're the number one TV guy. We have been around forever. You're just the hottest thing moving right now. We don't give a fuck. And in UMG world, I think that's how they've been viewing music at this point. How do we own everything that an artist does outside of music so we can leverage their celebrity where the real money is?
So let's ask the real questions. Demaris, how scared are you now that you can't use some of your favorite artists' music on TikTok?
I don't use artists. I don't really use music on TikTok. I talk on TikTok a lot.
Oh, that's what you do on TikTok.
But that's the point.
Yeah,
Like,
that's actually what gets pushed the most now is people talking on TikTok. I can't remember the last time I used a song on TikTok.
And to be quite honest, TikTok's a better promotion for artists when they do the dances and those songs than it is for TikTok. It's more lucrative for the artist from a promotional standpoint.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Like TikTok will just have somebody, mouth this sound. Just talk real quick.
Yeah, Demaris,
That's what's lucrative for them.
Demaris tried to have us talking to our phones. I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna
Like how much money do you think TikTok made off Meg's sassy dance?
Hold on. Okay, now wait a minute.
Compared to what TikTok makes.
No, obviously compared to what TikTok
I don't even
makes.
think it made it to
But
management level.
That's what made no, you're bugging. That's what made a lot of people join TikTok. That's what made a lot of kids join TikTok is when that dance went viral. So I'm not gonna take that from you.
What's
that was
a lot
really,
compared to
really
TikTok?
big moment. for
100,000
TikTok.
people?
Yeah.
But at the time, it's
That's a lot to me. 100,000 people is a lot to me.
It is when that happened. That happened during the pandemic. TikTok was nowhere near as big as it is now when that happened. So for them, that was a moment. Me personally, that's what I think. But now it has turned, because that was back when TikTok was a dancing app. Remember when TikTok first came out, it was TikTok.
Drake conformed to TikTok during the pandemic. TikTok did not conform to Drake.
TikTok.
He was Tootsie sliding in his fucking living room.
Y'all do know that TikTok was originally the Musical.ly app, right? Do you guys remember Musical.ly?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you can't sit there and say, yes, TikTok has always been... No. TikTok was a music app. It started as a music app, right?
Sure.
So where people can mouth over songs and things like that and different artists. It got the reputation for a dancing app because music, dancing obviously goes together. It has grown over recent years into a whole different monster, but that is still where its roots were. So yes, back in those days,
Facebook started as a bashing woman website.
Good old
Now
days.
and now
That's not what
now
Facebook
owns
started
my thoughts. Like things change.
Those were the days.
Bring them back.
All my life.
I feel you, but things change so drastic once you get to fucking San Francisco and it becomes backed by billion-dollar investors.
Yes, of course.
We see you can build a community. We can own that community.
Yeah.
Things change drastically.
I'm
like,
talking
you have the
about
software?
5 years
Bet.
ago. That's what I was
We're
talking
going to buy you.
Yeah. And
You own that, we'll buy you.
Yes.
and anyone that uses that, we own them now.
It's
Yeah.
a sick world we live in.
Should we play some voicemails?
You've got mail.
Oh shit, I forgot we have voicemails. Yeah, let's get some voicemails.
All right. Pivot into a sexual one.
Man winning in court is crazy.
How y'all doing, everybody? This Quan from Louisiana. Much love to y'all. But I had a question, and it's for everybody here, but mostly for Rory because let's say we have a similar past. You know what I'm saying? Which I ain't gonna trauma dump on none of that, but which led to issues, hypersexuality, and things of that nature. And I just want to know, how did you get past that? You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, I don't have a problem getting women, meeting women, you know what I'm saying, talking to women, whatever. It's just that most of my relationships with women are sexual, you know what I'm saying? And very recently I met somebody, a young woman who I wanted to be more with, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, more than just, I wanted my old lady type shit. And I feel like my over sexuality kind of fucked that up a little bit. So I kind of just want to know, like, besides, well, therapy is obvious answer most likely, but how did you get over that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like when I told her physical touch was my love language, she kind of like that turned off crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Appreciate the help. You know what I'm saying? Love y'all. Love what y'all do. Been listening for a minute.
Physical touch can be a love language, right?
It is a love language.
Yeah.
But he's trying to say, since you're such a horny devil, he's a horny devil.
He's saying he's been molested before, which makes him hypersexual, and he has trouble having real relationships because he's focused just on physical, because he has a hypersexual brain, because he was introduced to sex way before he should have been introduced to sex. And when you have a mind that is mush and is developing, and someone introduces something that should come way later in your life, it takes over most of your brain, which can fuck up all relationships. I understand what he's trying to say. I don't want to give the cliche answer because he already brought up, like, I understand therapy. I will say, for me, what worked was talking about it in therapy and understanding the root of it and making yourself more aware of it, and seeing the behavior you have and where it's caused makes you more conscious of it, which allows you to change it a bit. You become more patient with stuff. You don't view things the same way once you understand the root of it. But I mean, he's made somewhat progress already of understanding his hypersexuality based off what happened to him when he was young. It takes the work on changing that. Because once you realize it, that doesn't make anything you do okay. Like, I'm still on that side. I understand if you've been abused before. It is, unfortunately, your job as an adult to make sure you don't, not to say he's going to abuse anyone, but that you do the work to change yourself. And that takes some time, and you should get some grace through that. But you have to do the work if you don't want it to affect the rest of your life. Because once you're 40 years old and you've been through sexual abuse, nobody is going to look at that as an excuse if you are lashing out or treating people poorly. Like, we'll get where it comes from, but you're an adult now.
Yeah, it's not an excuse.
It's time to change. And that sucks because it's like, damn, like, you have that feeling of like, oh, well, no one protected me or cared about me at that time. Now it's my job to fucking pick up the pieces and not be a shitty person.
Right.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah.
And I know it's like the tough love version of it, but you will just continue to have awful relationships that'll affect you in a terrible way at the end of the day. It's a selfish act as well. If you want to have a real connection with somebody, you have to do the work and realize where your actions are coming from and disconnect yourself from that experience the best you can so you can have a healthy relationship with people and understand it wasn't your fault, but you are now in control for the first time. That's the beauty of it when you look at it. You were never in control at that time. Now I'm in control, and it was fucked up, but I can control now how I can work with people.
Right.
So that's my advice. Was that good?
I think you got it. I think you got it right.
And if you're
these are sensitive topics, so I don't know if
you did a very good job. I agree with you. The only thing I'll add is, as far as her getting turned off by physical touch, you can have physical touch as your love language, but that doesn't always mean sex. So if you didn't make that clear to her, because a lot of times a lot of men's love language, they think it's physical touch because they think sexual wise, right? When a lot of them, they don't know that their love language is actually words of affirmation and a whole bunch of other shit. So they will say physical touch. So that's why it turns a lot of women off. But yours probably is physical touch because of what you've been through, but you need to learn how to channel that physical touch into other ways. Because when physical touch is your love language, it doesn't mean that you like sex. We all like sex. It means that you like hand holding, you like hugs, you like cuddling. So that's physical touch is your love language. You being hypersexual is not physical touch being your love language because there's actually no love involved in that. But I do hope that you get the help you need. I was just giving you some insight into why she was probably turned off by that.
I like cuddling too until it gets too hot.
You look like you get hot when you sleep.
Yeah, I run hot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I sleep naked. I got to. I can't sleep with clothes on. I wake up, shirt soaking wet. Everything is wet.
Wet dream or just sweat?
No, just hot.
Oh.
Just,
my most comfortable relationship
Wet
as long as our feet, like our
I told
feet
you I
was
never had a
touching.
wet dream. I never understood that. That's fucking.
Having a soaked shirt from a wet dream is crazy.
Where were you in your dream? You was in Dorney Park.
And that means you had no bottoms on in a shirt.
Or Miss B Nasty's Wrangler.
Ooh, Miss B Nasty. Shout out to Miss B
Um,
Nasty. I want to shout her out every episode.
But also, I think it was brave that you called into a podcast to have that conversation.
Especially this one.
Yeah, those are tough things to have conversations about. But
Well, I mean, he feels like he shares that with you.
yeah, and it's something that's you're able to get over.
How often, Rory, do you field questions?
You guys bring it up every day, so yeah.
Not us, obviously. Well, we're doing it as a PSA, so people like this gentleman can call in and share and feel comfortable. But how often do you like field DMs or messages from people about that stuff?
But they think
Uh,
Rory is like lying about it most of the times or joking about it.
Which
Yeah, well, I don't think it's
sucks.
joking, but they just make jokes because y'all make jokes.
Well, I think sometimes that's like what is that called? Is that
I would
like
never-
words of
Defense
affirmation?
mechanism, coping mechanism.
I would
It's
never
not words
create
of
a full-
affirmation.
No.
Making fun of him being touched.
Yeah.
You think that's a word of affirmation?
Yeah. why not?
Maul, actually, can you demonstrate
In an Irish household,
all
yeah.
the love languages for me? Can you give me a demonstration, like an example of the love languages? I would love to see what you think showing love in
Well,
that
if I
language
show
is.
you physical touch, we might get canceled. I'm not gonna do that.
Okay, we cannot do that.
Words of
What about words of
affirmation.
affirmation?
You are beautiful. You are powerful. You are confident.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like I support you.
Mm.
Things like that.
Okay, what?
There's nothing you can't do.
That's not. Yes, but in love, like
Like, what if there's stuff she can't?
in love, shut up, bro.
Oh yeah, you can't cook. I'm affirming that you cannot cook.
You can't affirm that, nobody, baby.
Those are words of
But
affirmation.
in love, it's
You can't
more
cook.
like in love words or in relationships, words of affirmation are more like, I love you, I appreciate you.
You smell okay.
Thank you for making my life easier.
I
Like
do all of that.
I
Like when they
need
giving me
you.
head, I'm like,
They-
that is good. You're doing a great job. Keep doing it. No, more of that. Spit.
Oh, that's a twofer because that's physical touch and words of affirmation.
Exactly. And acts of service. If
And
you're paying,
quality time.
if you're paying for it,
Yeah.
I'm knocked all of them off the board. right
And you're receiving a gift. That's all 5 of them.
Yo, come on, fam. I'm not a legend over here.
There you go. Head is
Look,
the ultimate love
Demaris
language.
asked for one. I gave all.
I think head is the ultimate love language.
That is the
So-
ultimate.
So many words of affirmation in physical.
Oh
touch.
my
Yeah.
God.
no,
What?
that's talking.
And that's quality time.
Yes.
Quality time,
Quality
yeah.
times, acts of service, it's everything when you have sex.
That's the
Just have
best
sex.
gift you can get.
But we got to stop letting women think head is a gift.
Well, I'll take it.
Did you have it before? If you didn't have it before, it's a gift.
I love that gift. That's a gift you can
I was
keep
going to say,
giving.
Rory, what gifts do you expect from women?
I'm saying, like, if it's my birthday, don't give me head, and that's the gift.
Oh, you want more than just head.
Give me head on Arbor Day.
Yeah.
That should be
When is Arbor Day, Rory?
when the trees
No, when
Spout.
is it though? What date?
in spring.
Yeah.
April 26th.
There you go.
Everyone knows that.
Yeah. Duh.
Like, I didn't think I needed to say that because everyone knows.
Because everyone gets special head on Arbor Day. Like,
My seed sprouts every Arbor Day.
head is a gift, and I want it every day. Keep giving me that gift, please.
Isn't love kind of like all 5 of these though? Outside of receiving gifts?
Well, that's why it's called love languages.
There's ways
But
to
shouldn't
show
love
love, or not
have
even
all
ways
these?
to show love. They're how you receive love best. Your love language is how you receive love best. For example, you could go buy me. I won't say me. Some girls you can buy them a Birkin, right? Some girls you can buy them a Birkin, but if you don't tell them that you love them, they will not believe that you love them.
Mm.
Well, that's why I said receiving gifts was the one I was taking out. The rest of these, though, I think should all be part of love, no?
It's not, yes. A good relationship encompasses all of the love languages, of course, but some people receive love
In a better way.
differently. Like you will prefer acts of service over words of affirmation, correct? People doing things to make your life easier is how you would prefer to receive your love over somebody just saying, I love you.
Okay, but isn't love a compromise to some degree?
Rory, you
Is
gotta
it
be a
not?
philosopher with a fucking tin hat on every.
You said it's love what?
Love is a compromise, right?
No, love is not relationships are compromises. Love is not a compromise. Relationships
Okay,
are
fair.
compromises.
See, now you're the philosopher. If somebody's not great at giving words of affirmation and that's the best way I receive love, but I love this person, I'm not going to be mad at them for that. They're just not good at words of affirmation.
Yeah.
No, but
Like
that might not be the but that might not be the person for you. That's the purpose, and that's the reason why people do these relationship tests, because you're supposed to. A relationship is not just about I love you and you love me. That won't keep a relationship going. When it comes to relationships, our puzzle pieces have to fit and we have to understand each other and be able to gel well. So if I am a person who needs to hear I love you and you're not comfortable saying I love you, but you'll buy me every gift and touch me and spend quality time, none of that will matter to me if I never hear you say the words. So we are not a good fit.
If you want someone to say I love you, that means my love language is words of affirmation? It's like 101 shit.
Not
saying I love you?
You know, I'm really
not trying to debate. I'm trying to understand.
Okay. Not just, and I don't want to just use I love you, but it's a good example. Some people don't say, you know how I tell y'all I love y'all all the time? Like all the time I tell y'all I love y'all.
But you say you love everybody, so we don't, it doesn't mean much. It doesn't mean much.
You're one of those.
At the end of the day, some people are not comfortable saying how they feel, period. And let's not just say I love you. They're more comfortable showing you how I feel. Dating, y'all don't date men, I date men. You'll hear the others, well, what do you mean I didn't tell you that I appreciate you? Or what do you mean I didn't tell you I love you? I did this for you. I did this for you. This proves my love to you. And it's like, okay, but that's not my love language. I need to hear you say these words. I need to hear you say that you think I'm beautiful. I need to hear you say that you need me and that you appreciate me, or else I won't feel it no matter how else you do it. That's why I just think that people should, if you want to be with somebody and you want that relationship to last and have that passion and that heat and that happiness throughout, I personally think you have to learn to show love in your partner's love language, period.
Okay. Again, I wasn't trying to debate.
Yeah, no, but that's, it's just, it is, as far as showing those, like, yes, a relationship is a compromise and you do need to learn how to love your partner the way that your partner best receives love, or else the relationship is not going to last that long.
Yeah, I agree.
We know.
I mean, head on Arbor Day also.
Yeah. Oh man, April 26th. I can't wait.
Yeah.
To answer your earlier question, Julian, people that DM me, I used to talk about depression on the old pod, and people would DM me all the time and I would reply. It was making me more depressed and making me more anxious, and like people would dump their problems, and I would reply because I felt some type of way, and they were saying, "Yo, you've made me feel seen," and like podcasting doesn't talk about this shit. It was before Charlemagne. So I enjoyed it until like it became not a burden, because that's a bad thing. I don't like doing that anymore because it's going to affect my life. Like I'll lose sleep thinking about a stranger that DM me that I replied to of how they're doing. It put me in a bad place. So I'm cool with like voicemails and having this conversation because it's here. But if I'm on my phone and like I see a notification and then I see that unread shit and I was having a conversation about depression or some other shit, I don't want to be this stranger's call.
Yeah.
Like, and then what if something happens and like, I just don't need that in my life.
We talk about that a lot. Like sometimes at these live shows, you meet people and they say, "Oh, you saved my life. I was contemplating suicide and this, that." That's heavy, man. That's heavy to just throw on somebody, because it's like, whoa, like you were thinking about suicide, but I'm the person that was like the voice of reason in your head, and you were looking forward to like listening to me every week. Like that's heavy. People don't understand how heavy that is, but that's like a really, really heavy thing to tell somebody, because I know me, I'm not. Well, I am, but you
tell people to kill themselves every other day, so I don't know why they would ever want to listen to you to keep themselves on the ledge.
You probably tell
some
that
people
same
need
person
tough love.
You have a mental illness.
I mean, yeah, that's true.
Probably more accurate.
Well, they do.
That's true. Yeah.
And Maul's the fact, I mean, I've watched people say that to Maul. And I think it's cool not cool, but I appreciate it when people say it at live shows and meet and greets and everything. To what Julian's question was, though, I had to stop with the DM shit, because then I started feeling responsible for.
Yeah, you start wearing people's trauma.
Like what the fuck? And now I'm like, unread messages, and they're like about possible suicide, and then it's like, all right, what? I can't attach this to my life.
I took a page out of Ike Turner's book one time when a guy told me he was going to kill himself. I said, "If you die, I'll kill you." He was looking at me like, you know what to do.
Nah, but they're a great black hope for real. That's who they. That's
Ike Turner,
and they love me. They love me.
Oh, Maul.
Yeah, they love you.
Okay.
They do.
Black History Month.
Shout out to Black History Month. Yo, shout out to Rabbit Movers. Shout out to my guy Anthony and his partner Mercedes. They helped me move my stuff yesterday.
Love them.
Tell us about the new place.
Yeah, they was dope. Well,
can't wait to not see it.
It's a bunch of boxes right now, but
Can we go to the old spot that we never went to now?
Oh, sure. Yeah, go over there.
Now that it's vacant.
Yeah, go over there. See
You
what's
know they
going on.
would have unpacked for you if you. Rabbit Movers does that. They unpack.
Yeah, no,
for
I
you
didn't. I
if
didn't
you
need them to do all that. I just needed them to move the boxes. But shout out to Rabbit Movers. If you ever need anything moved, please give Rabbit Movers. You can follow them on IG, Rabbit Movers. Website rabbitmovers.com. Very efficient, very quick. I was surprised at how fast they got all those boxes out of there. Like I was sitting there like trying to look at like the method and like that shit was impressive. Like they moved that shit really, really quick.
Did you pack everything up?
I packed most of the stuff.
Did they pack
yeah?
How did it?
They would have. They
Damn.
would have. They helped pack some of the stuff, but
Jesus.
like because I knew I was moving, so I've been taking like a couple of days out of the week, past 2-3 months to just kind of sort of start packing shit up. But
You better than me. They packed my whole closet and everything.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah, they would have.
They helped two of my friends move. I put them because by way of Demaris, they contacted me. I put them in touch with a couple of my friends. They just helped them move. Great.
Really, really efficient, quick, really cool, good people. So anywhere, if you need anything moved, anybody needs to have their stuff packed and shipped or whatever. Rabbit Movers on Instagram, rabbitmovers.com. Give them a call, and they'll definitely get the job done. Super dope.
So
thank y'all. Appreciate y'all.
new spot. Does it feel like a new chapter? Do you feel
Oh my God.
cleanse?
Like I'm gonna sage.
new headspace?
Yes, I'm gonna sage. I'm gonna like clean out all of the evil spirits that were there before me, even though it's a new spot. Nobody ever lived there before.
You gonna bring mad new evil spirits in that bitch. Valentine's Day coming, please.
When
You're gonna have evil spirits helping you unpack.
No.
when was the official day? The move in.
the first, right?
Yesterday.
You take a big. Did you like christen the toilet yet?
I didn't have any wipes with me. No, I couldn't.
Damn,
Yeah.
that's gonna be a good
Tonight though.
So you just held it?
No, I took a shit at the old spot. They still have,
Oh
still
damn!
have
Not you leaving them
keys there.
a gift.
Yeah, so now I got
Party gift.
Yeah.
one. Upper decker.
I didn't flush. It's still there.
When's the
Housewarming?
housewarming? Yeah, thank you.
Housewarming. Men do that?
Oh,
Single
my
men?
God.
Sure.
Really? I
It's
thought
an
that was like
excuse to have a kickback and get a blender.
Housewarmings do come with blenders.
Nespresso.
Like, how many blenders is somebody gonna bring you? Like I have 7 of those already. Thank you.
Yeah, people they don't coordinate. You usually get a lot of the same shit.
And then I'm not doing a registry for a housewarming.
I was about to say you're supposed to do a registry for a housewarming.
Yeah, that sounds pretty.
That's a lot.
Well, I do.
I'd bring you a Scarface poster.
Please no. I hate when I walk into God's house and he has Al Pacino on his wall. What the fuck are you doing? It's not a real character.
the
Felt
gift,
seen.
Yeah.
the gifts I always buy for so I keep this rule period for like new married couples. So wedding gifts and housewarming gifts. I bring something that I'm going to use when I go to your house. So I always buy people like really nice crystal wine glasses or crystal champagne glasses, like things that I'm going to use. I don't know why. I've always done that. I mean, they need them still and they're still nice gifts, but
It was like the time I told you guys that my dad got my mom a Belgian waffle maker for Christmas, and then he never spent another Christmas there again.
Fire.
That's hard.
Well, I fuck with your dad. Yo.
I always get people plants.
Yeah,
That's
like
a
that
good
big
gift.
ass,
I like plants.
dumbass plant you got sitting out in the fucking reception
Blame
area.
Rory for
Get
that
that
one.
shit out of here.
that
was
should
my-
look like
that
something
was
from Harry
Rory's
Potter.
fault.
that
That
was
shit
my
is
fault.
so fucking big and obnoxious. Put
And
that in the
ugly.
lobby. That should go in the lobby.
Rory's fault.
But,
You helped
okay,
me dig it out. Paul.
Oh yeah, well, I wasn't gonna not. He needed.
I
help.
think that belongs downstairs in the lobby. I think it would be.
The
Actually,
lobby
it
not
probably
big
would-
enough. That big ass, that shit is huge. I hate it.
I mean, the lobby's bigger than that space over there, for sure.
Yeah.
I don't
We didn't
know.
really think it through.
Yeah, that's just, it's an obnoxious big ass plant for no reason.
Well,
That plant belongs like in the wild.
well, it was.
Yeah, that's why you need to leave it there. Like, fuck, you bought that big ass. That plant belongs in
The wild of
Central Park.
Soho Grand?
Yeah, that's
That's where we,
that
that's where we dug it out of.
that
I
plant
do
belongs in
have,
Central
I
Park.
have a perfect place for it in my house, though. I'll take it.
In
That
your
thing
house.
weighs
Where you
like
live at?
Rabbit,
The fucking White
rabbit
House?
movers are going to take it.
You live at the White House? How big is your house? That's a big ass fucking plant.
If you want to take it in the meantime, yeah, it's too much here.
Yeah.
Rabbitmovers.com.
I like it.
Do we
Shout
have
out to
another
Rabbit
voicemail?
Movers.
Do we want to do another voicemail?
Sure.
Do we?
could. Let's see. Oh, this is actually fun. So we had the Iraq caller call in. The guy that was,
Crazy. He has a name.
what was his name, Rory?
I don't know, but I don't think of him as the Iraq caller. I just think
Well, that's how we said we have 2 listeners out there. He's one of them. So people know who we're referring to. So the quick recap, his girl wasn't sure if she wanted to commit to doing the program in the States. It's too difficult. So he's like, what do I do? Do I stay with her and go somewhere else? Or do I leave her and come to the States? We have a caller, another guy from Iraq who did that. And he's here.
Okay.
Currently doing what this guy's doing, so he's calling to give him advice.
Spoken to 2 of 2 already.
Hey, Julian, my name's Taha. I'm
Taha?
just leaving a voicemail, or I don't know if it's just a message. I don't want to DM you or anything. So, regarding you played a voicemail on the pod about this Iraqi guy that's a resident, that's a doctor that wants to. So, anywho, so I have some tools, I have some information. I'm actually a resident as well. I go to UAMS, and I'm Iraqi as well. I was just over there not too long ago. So I just wanted to get in touch with that guy. I might have some resources to help him because, that's just something I would like to do. So if you can get me in touch or contact information or something with him, maybe his email or whatever, I really appreciate it. But yeah, I just want to see if I could help or anything like that in terms of his medical residency here in the U.S. and his papers and stuff like that. So yeah, just please, if you can just hit me back through my email or something, that would be great. Thanks.
That's really nice.
Oh, Taha, that was cool.
I think Julian misheard. I think he's from Lefrak City, not Iraq.
I know that.
It's from the same Iraq that Nori's from.
Yeah, he sells sour on the weekends.
On the weekends, it's so funny.
I wanted to play that on air, so if the other guy hears it, he can also maybe leave a voicemail, leave a phone number, and we can make the connection. But I thought that was cool.
Yeah, no,
that was cool.
That's beautiful.
And something to help him get through his process. Because that shit has got to be brutal.
Yeah.
We thought moving.
I mean, it's not more brutal than living over there. You know what I mean?
Don't ever win. Yo.
Are Rabbit Movers International?
They are.
Rabbit Iraq?
Yeah.
Rabbit Iraq is crazy.
Iraqi rabbit. They can help you move. If you're stuck in the rubble, there's no trouble.
Yo. End episode. Please. Stop the fucking tape.
Yeah, we still haven't moved troops out of there.
Oh, shit. Speaking of troops, conspiracy, this is definitely where we should transition, but the Jordan troops.
Oh, we can talk about that on Patreon.
Yeah.
America's back at it.
Why y'all want to make Patreon the politics pod?
Well, it's going to be politics and religion because we owe them the rest of that conversation, too.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that question.
No, it's happening. Yeah, we're doing it all.
You got more context to your answer?
I sent you guys a pod to listen to. I know no one listened to it.
Nope. Better shit to do.
Well, I was moving. I had an excuse not to listen.
That's actually
Amara's actual birthday.
Yeah, and it was Amara's birthday.
What did you guys do for her actual birthday? I called you. You ignored me. It's fine.
We went to the aquarium, and then we went to lunch, and then we ate dinner, and then I prayed for all the family to leave.
Yes.
A birthday.
A birthday. Everyone get the fuck out, please. Yeah.
It's tough.
I know. It's okay, man.
Ready for next year?
I mean, is everyone invited?
We're going to do it all again.
I gave in to all the family for the first birthday.
Yeah, next year you can skip.
Y'all can send the cards.
Next year you can skip. The first birthday is the one. And then maybe do it again around 5.
No, don't have her next birthday party until she's old enough to ask and say, I want a birthday party. Save your money.
No, wait till she
I actually want to make the next birthday about Amara instead of the entire fucking family. Mm-hmm. It was everyone else's shit that I had to deal with. We're not even here to. You guys buy your $50 aquarium tickets. Like me and Kia and Amara would have went to the aquarium without y'all. Mm-hmm. Yeah, now everyone has to come.
Yeah. Yeah. Wait till she's
next
5.
year is about Amara. It's not about everybody else. Fuck, it wasn't even a cool aquarium. $50 fucking bucks. I didn't see one dolphin.
Where was the aquarium?
At
He mad as fuck.
Rory thought he was gonna see dolphins for $50
in New York City.
So
oh my God.
First of all, at the Atlanta Aquarium that I've been to twice, they have a full dolphin show.
Yeah, because that's one of the best aquariums in the world.
It's not an aquarium, it's a world. Prison.
Atlanta has the best.
It's
a prison.
It is a prison.
Definitely in the country.
It's a fucking prison.
Pretty guys.
It's a water prison.
But I used to pay for the Q100 to go to Rikers.
Three to guys.
Three to guys. Why would I want to 3 them?
3 to dolphins.
I want them to get out of prison.
Fuck, man.
They had nothing there. It was that American Dream. The mall that's
I know. I've been
worth negative $800. No, it was actually an article I read. That whole mall is in the biggest debt.
And the one in Jersey?
Yeah.
Yeah, the one next to MetLife.
Yeah.
Which is it was a nice aquarium, but I don't know. It wasn't Atlanta.
Yeah.
And I took Amara to
Aquarium.
the aquarium in Seattle. And you guys know I'm obsessed with otters. The entire thing was otters and like actual real fucking water life. Like this was, I saw a seahorse. None of those sharks were there.
I'm gonna
Well,
go
yeah.
to,
So the Atlanta Aquarium's on all of the top aquariums in the country. It's one of the best. So I wouldn't think New Jersey is going to compete.
definitely not.
I mean, I'm not here to defend New Jersey, but it's like one of the biggest ports in the United States. They can't get a shark there, but they can get one to Atlanta.
They probably don't have the you just said that the mall is in debt. I don't think they can afford Sharky.
They're in debt because that mall is incredible. I'm not here to shit on the mall.
Yeah, I know.
It's insane. Like, it's actually insane. But there's like 4 people there. Like, no one goes to it. They put so much money into it. And there's like real roller coasters in that shit. The real water park, ski resort, all inside. They couldn't get a fucking beluga whale there.
No.
They got a ski lift.
Yeah. Yeah.
An actual roller coaster inside.
I think I'm gonna go to the Bronx Zoo soon. I haven't been there in so many
I've never
years.
been. Can you take me?
Yeah, we can do that actually. Let's do that.
I haven't been there since I lost my virginity in 2004.
You should go back to the same spot you were.
I didn't fuck an animal.
Oh.
But like,
Like your
So you-
actual
you'll check on it.
virginity or like your molestation virginity?
see,
There's 2 different virginities. If you,
You got
think about it.
molested in
They
the
are-
Bronx too.
if you were to get molested though,
That
it
sounds-
might happen at the zoo.
That sounds like a movie.
That's like a Curious George book.
You're sick. You're sick. You're actually, you know,
Molested at the
that
Bronx
was
Zoo.
dark. That was dark, Julian.
Did you just call him sick and dark after what you just asked me to my face?
Well,
Right.
because I really want to know. You said, you're
Did
right.
you lose your
I probably
molestation
could have asked off mic.
virginity?
I'm
You're
sorry.
dressed like Curious George too today. So I was,
That is true. The man in the yellow hat. This is Amara. We made t-shirts for her birthday.
Oh, see, now that's cool. See, that's a cool
See,
shirt
I'm,
now.
I'm a counselor.
You should have said that. You should.
I'm a
You're not a counselor. Actually.
you're a
I'm a
victim.
Yo,
Not at Camp Amara.
Not at Camp Amara.
I just wanted to see otters.
Yo, that is fucking wild, bro. Holy
No.
shit.
No, Demaris, when I lost my actual virginity, we went on a field trip to the Bronx Zoo. And then afterwards,
Mm.
Wait, it was
Lost my
literally that
virginity.
same day.
no.
yeah. No, I didn't. No, that wasn't.
He wasn't molested the Bronx Zoo Day. What is
It's
good
okay,
with
bro.
you?
I'm
No,
with
I
you.
thought he said.
Who was the guy that
after-
called in? Help.
Help.
That's not how you
Rory.
lost your virginity.
Hey, Taha, help Rory. He's gonna hit you back, and you help him.
No. The first time I had consensual sex,
Was the day you left the Bronx Zoo?
we went on a field trip.
Oh,
and then
okay.
afterwards,
Got you.
great day.
Oh, that's better.
I'm
than my
sorry,
story.
Rory. I love you, and I'm sorry that you went through that.
No, you're not.
No, that was the good
What
stuff.
the fuck? Yes, I am.
All right, well, let's finish.
Wasn't
off.
that great. I lost my virginity to a Lloyd Banks mixtape, so wasn't that romantic?
That is fucking crazy. What?
So, effect.
Oh, now I.
Mixtape.
It's a-
Wait, no,
it's an
now
actual
that
fact.
makes sense. Now I
The
understand.
actual effect.
Now I understand your affinity for Lloyd Banks.
I had an affinity before that.
No. Well, obviously you lost your virginity to his music, so
Yeah, but I played the mixtape.
You
That was
put
you
that
setting the
on.
mood?
You say, yeah, let me set the mood.
Which
No, when
mixtape?
you're trying to, I don't, it was
Which Money in the Bank?
big withdrawal. I don't think it was Money in the Bank. No, yeah, it must have been More Money in the Bank Part 3.
that is a sick
Cashing
ass.
in. You definitely cashed in that day. Good job, Rory.
Wow. Did you ever tell Lloyd Banks that?
No.
You should tell Lloyd Banks this. We should record Rory telling Lloyd Banks he lost his virginity to his mixtape.
We should. Oh my God, that'd be a perfect TikTok.
Rory, you saw this
Dear
cover.
Mr. Banks.
You said this will put her in the mood.
No, you're talking about a classic mixtape series, by the way.
Yeah.
It's a great series, but not the fuck to.
Yeah, like that's what,
Yeah, I'm
I
not
think that's the
debating
part
if
you're
it's good
missing.
music
We're
or
not
not.
saying the music is bad, but I don't just wouldn't put that on.
Mom,
if I
what
had.
did you lose your virginity to? The Beatles?
It was a commercial playing. I don't know. It might have been actually it might have been fucking The Price is Right might have been on TV or something.
Yo, I'm screaming.
Because
I
we was
lost mine
watching
to Chris
TV.
Brown.
We was watching TV and I think Price is Right or something was
First time I had
early.
sex, there's no music.
Yeah, it was the TV was on.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
That's the song you nutted to.
Well, it's only 2 minutes long, so I was trying to think it was probably that one.
It's probably the intro.
It was the intro.
I nutted before he started rapping.
nutted before the beat, the drums came in.
Gunshots.
You nutted on it, digging the ditch intro.
And then,
Yo.
and then I don't think I got pussy until the big withdrawal came up. So I really based like my first sexual partners off what Lloyd Banks mixtape was happening.
Yo, that is fucking
Dude, that's
crazy.
amazing.
Man. That is
It's not that
wild.
crazy though. If you were my age at that time, though,
Bro,
that was what people were
Rory,
listening
I'm
to.
gonna go on the ledge and say you are the only person that has ever lost their virginity to Lloyd Banks playing.
I ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna do that to him. I'm sure somebody else has lost their virginity.
To Karma,
to Lloyd Banks
beautiful.
playing in the back.
Smile,
No, I don't think nobody.
Smile is beautiful.
Lloyd Banks playing while they lost their virginity. That is so fucking crazy.
I won't do it just for Rel and his editing purposes. But Karma, you don't think I would play it? But
I'm not playing. No, like
it's featuring Avant, I think,
yeah,
right?
but it's still Lloyd Banks though. Like that's just weird. That's
Piggy
weird.
Bank came on one time when I was having sex.
Oh God, that explains a lot. That explains why you always like, yo, how much money he got.
But
Piggy
also,
Bank.
I didn't set the mood with Lloyd Banks. It was what was playing.
No, you put it on and then had sex.
I was inexperienced. I was not dating. I'm sorry. I was fucking a girl that was dating a senior, and she was my age. She was my friend,
Mm-hmm.
and she was way more experienced than I was. I didn't know I was ready to have sex.
She was a little hooah.
I mean,
She was a young girl discovering herself.
yeah.
Oh, love those.
I appreciated that she was a freshman fucking a senior. She walked me through it.
Shout out to her, wherever she is in the world.
I have not the slightest fucking clue.
Well, we'll finish this on Patreon. Patreon.com. Subscribe. Tickets available for DC Howard Theater March 23rd. NewRoryandMall.com. Merch is available. Well, some of the merch is still available.
It's
Not
there.
much of it. Some of it is still there. Subscribe to the Patreon. Subscribe to the YouTube. Hit the like button or you hating. We'll talk to y'all soon. Let's head over to Patreon.com now.
No worry